December PCE coming in here momentarily as we get going on a Friday morning. There it is, 0.2%. It looks like for the core side of things on the month-over-month basis. Personal income as well, 0.4% to the upside. I mean, in line with expectations there as far as core PCE is concerned. We also get employment cost benefits coming through here at 8:30 this morning. So we'll see how that moves the market. The overall number there on the headline, 2.6% versus 2.6%. So in line with expectations on both the month over month and year over year. Core 2.8% also in line with expectations. So as you were as far as the Fed's favorite reading on inflation, the trend continues as far as that is concerned. We are going to get Chicago PMI coming up, it looks like, at 9:45 this morning. Otherwise, pretty quiet as far as the economic calendar is concerned. That's okay, because there's lots to talk about this morning, including, nice look for the market here, almost a full percent, 0.8 right now to the upside on the back of a nice report from Apple after the close. It scared everyone a little bit there, the initial move downside, but then it was just up and away. We're taking out those highs as we speak right now. 4.3%. Strong forecast, I think, was the key. As soon as that line kind of popped up on the screen, it was all ships were good to go.
Yes, sir.
Beating Q1 expectations. I mean, tons and tons and tons of analysts with positive expectations. Sharif, the one thing I was looking for that didn't come was AI. There wasn't much.
No, we're not going to get much, Brendo, from them. We're going to have to wait till April. So that's what we were talking about yesterday, the big launch of Apple Intelligence. The one that I'm waiting for personally is the integration of ChatGPT with Siri. Siri needs to be better at this point in time because its comparators are all much, much better. But here's the deal. In markets where Apple Intelligence was released, Brendo, they did better iPhone sales. In markets where Apple Intelligence wasn't around, they didn't perform. For example, China, they're not going to get an Apple Intelligence until April. And even when they do, it's going to be a very slimmed down version. They need to find a Chinese partner, apparently, to kind of jive everything with privacy issues with the Chinese government. So we're going to have to wait for that. China sales weak because of that. One of the reasons were weak.
I mean, they did say that AI was one of the reasons or one of the drivers of the sales being stronger than expected. But after what happened earlier this week with DeepSeek and everyone saying, oh, these guys are spending way too much money. I mean, Apple's Apple. Like, this is what they do. They do not comment on things like this, and then they just show up typically with the best version of whatever ends up being the end result. So here we go. 250 coming into play here almost, guys, for Apple. Good morning.
Yo, good morning. Good morning.
Getting ahead of us, 250, man.
Neil is muted.
Yeah, we're muted.
Not we.
Well, I'm muted. Why?
Yeah.
No, Apple 250. Look, I think we get there. I mean, when we get there, who knows? I mean, we're at 248 right now, so I don't know if we want to get
how about in 3 minutes?
Completely ahead of ourselves here. But no, at the end of the day, you had some declining sales in China, declines in China. We've heard that story before. There's nothing new along those lines. We've talked about the update cycle, people waiting. Well, why am I going to get it new unless I'm getting all of the features and bells and whistles? Okay, so I get that as well. But most of that decline stuff, that was priced in when we fell 20. What did we fall? $40 from the high.
Yeah, like 15%.
Sorry, it was 15%. I almost said 20%. Yeah. 15% from the all-time high, right? So we're in that bounce back phase. You cleared the 50 period again today, so got to be looking bullish here on Apple. What you don't want to get lost with, though, it's Friday, the market's up. Google is very, very close to its all-time high as well. There's a lot going on. It's going to be obviously Apple 4% is looking fantastic today, but Google at those fresh highs. You saw that late move in Nvidia. Don't forget there's going to be some tariff maybe reaction with some of the autos after we saw yesterday. There's plenty to look at, but Apple, I mean, what are you going to do? The last time we bounced off the 200-period moving average, and it was rocket ship 2 days. Today, we get the nice bounce over the 50 period, so I'm just looking for continuation. I'm not saying you get to if it does the exact same thing that we just pulled off the 50 period, the 200 period, off the 50 period, then we'd be at the highs on Monday. While I'm not that crazy bullish, I don't think we're that far off when it comes to Apple. And as I said, don't sleep on Alphabet. It is going to break its all-time high as well. Because why not? It's Friday. Let's have a little fun.
Why not? It's the best of the best, man. We talked about Google being the best, and it looks like it might get there. I don't know. Who knows? Still has a lot to perform. I mean, the thing about it is, if you look at, okay, so first of all, Intel 1.35%. Welcome, everybody. It should be a big day. We should have Michael Noss. Potentially in the building at some point. Okay, so just real quick, so Intel not doing anything. I just want to show you guys that, like Neil just said, Apple is right back to where it was at the beginning of the year, and sort of the same thing with Google. Some of these names have gone a little sideways here on the year. If you can see, this was December. If you come all the way up here to sort of where we've been, this is January, you know, all of late December, all of January. Now finally starting to get a little bit higher. So there she goes again. It's Google, man, and we really like all these stocks. Like, I'm sitting on a lot, like not a lot, but I'm sitting on dry powder, and I'm trying to put it to work. But I haven't bought anything in a long time, expecting this market to pull back a little bit on some of these earnings. But what an earnings season it has been. I mean, what this earnings season has done is basically brought the NASDAQ within inches now. How many was this? Like 1, 2, maybe 2 inches away. Is that how you measure charts? By inches on
Centimeters,
how it is on your screen? Yeah, but anyways, we're really, really close to that all-time high. Apple obviously giving it some kick today as well. Microsoft back up 1%. So that's, you know, giving a little life back into this name. A little bit. We talked yesterday about 415. If you were brave enough to pull the trigger, I was not on that. And, you know, again, thinking that we could have more downside. The tariffs are pretty interesting to me. We can see what winds up happening with that. You saw some Tesla movement yesterday late, as we did in the whole market. Fell down a little bit there at 345 when the announcement was officially made there by Donald, all the way to the downside down to $400. Look, I actually... You know, we always try to talk about things in the vein of the stocks, but the one thing that is true of all of this, no matter what you think of Donald Trump and of some of these policies, said he was going to do it, and he did it. So now the talk is, what's that going to mean to oil? You know, there's a potential, they said last night. And I think he said this morning that that's still going to be in consideration, that the tariff is not on Canadian oil. So we'll see if that comes true or not. We did see the move down in FXI, which would be I guess just a move expecting to get some tariff announcement possibly for China. I don't know if that's going to be coming anytime soon. What a nice move up there for XI. And then Alibaba, since we're talking about Chinese names, this is going to be another name. It's on the sticky note. I'm putting it out right now. But I like this name if we ever pull back into $100. I mean, yesterday we sort of got that dip in there, again, on similar news, back into 100 and change, but we didn't get close to that $100 mark. So I just think that as we talk about Huawei and as we talk about some of the strength in the Chinese marketplace, especially in the cell phone area, maybe Alibaba there with Quen and all this kind of stuff does have a little bit of juice underneath it, because remember, Apple still has to pair up with somebody to get artificial intelligence in China. So that could be somebody looking to do business with, maybe Alibaba or something like that. Alibaba's new AI is called Cecilia.
Ooh.
So, you know, you're breaking my heart with that one. Okay, back over to the desk, as we just talked about a couple names. We'll get over a couple more.
A little Simon and Garfunkel.
I have confirmed Mr. Noss is in an Uber on his way here from the airport right now. He took a 6 a.m. flight from New York. So shout out to, maybe not a Lambo, but I don't know. There's no Lambo Ubers. What am I talking about? But he'll be here in a few minutes. We'll get him on and see how his week has been. Lots to consider here this morning, as well as the overall market. Just took a bit of a dip there on that number, I guess, at 8:30. We're trying to get back higher right now. But I mean, positive week overall. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row here to the upside. 0.8%, good way to end off what has been a very eventful January.
Yeah, Brendo, we're trying to work our way back into that 22,000 point area on the NQ. Good strength from some of these tech names. We saw, you know, Amazon make all-time highs. Google's trying to break through that $200 level again, and goodness gracious, Meta, where it's like a few days before we close above 700. So tech really leading the way here for the tech-heavy NASDAQ. So we'll keep an eye on this. We're already up 0.75%, but that in-line PCE number kind of kept us a little bit indecisive at the moment.
Yeah, kind of meh. I mean, it's been that way for months and months, it seems. Every time we get one of those, it's always in line or slightly up or slightly down. It's not all positive here. Chevron was one notable name here downside this morning on earnings. I didn't check on oil. It's not really doing a heck of a lot, but Chevron breaking through a decent support level here this morning on this report, 155. Not a huge move down to 152, but looks like sales missed here for CVX.
Yeah, Brendo, and we've been talking about this and how this could, basically impact the balance sheets and the profitability for some of these oil companies, because Donald Trump's made his point very clear that he wants to drill. And so supply increases, the barrel comes down, that decreases margins. But from what I'm hearing from analysts, these guys are going to be profitable with a $40 to $60 barrel. So the fact that the barrel's trading at $72, $73 right now is just excess. So we'll have to wait and see how they do.
I mean, there was a day many years ago when I remember reports suggesting oil sands coming out of Canada, $35, $38, $39 a barrel was their break-even point. So anything on top of that, I mean, is just like.
And Donald Trump, I don't know if you had an opportunity to hear what he said yesterday, Brendo. He's like, look, the 25% tariffs are going on Canada. I may make an exception for oil, depending on what the price is. Brendo, he's using the tariffs to negotiate the price per barrel. This guy can do it all.
Yeah, he's a businessman. I mean, he initially said it was going to be later Thursday or maybe Friday that he makes that decision. So I haven't seen or heard anything on that. But I mean, we're less than 24 hours away here, guys, for everything else getting slapped with 25%.
Well, we might be getting slapped with tariffs here in Canada, but the chat is getting slapped with memberships from Russell Jackson. Good. What up, Russell Jackson? Appreciate you so much. Get in there, grab those memberships, everybody, and thank you so much for that, Russell. He also hinted, let me try to find it here again, Russell Jackson, I wonder what the care package is, because he said he's sending us something. So I have a sneaky suspicion, Russell. So my guess is, and for those of you that do not know, Russell's the one that sent us this Vegemite from down under, and it is probably more than 2 or 3 years past due. It's probably a refresh of that. Not that I'm going to be too excited to eat it, but I'm sure we would.
Russell Jackson sent us something.
Yeah. Well, he said he will. We appreciate you guys. If you want to be in the chat, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. It's a subs-only chat. But yeah, and also share it with your friends, and then we can all share in the stock trading and Vegemite love together. No, I actually don't.
I'm not. I mean, I wasn't even here when Obi had it. You said he just had it no problem. But
yeah, Obi must just be built
again, like
different.
on a piece of bread or a cracker. I mean, that's what people are having.
Fresh, it's fine. Like, I'll have it on toast or a croissant or something when it's fresh.
Right.
But maybe it's not going to be that. We'll see when it gets here. When it comes to Chevron, just one quick thing for Chevron. They increase their dividend because that's what they do. They have they habitually maintain and increase their dividend, so that's a positive. And ultimately, I still think they're fine. It's not. You don't want to see the revenue miss for them. I don't know how much of a trade it's going to be today. Like, on a day where Apple is pressing, Google's going to break an all-time high. I mean, you saw NVIDIA moving, GM's moving. The down names on earnings, well, okay, Walgreens didn't report. The down names I'm looking at today would be like Deckers on their report, and then Walgreens. Walgreens suspended their dividend. They didn't actually report, but Deckers is down 15% and kind of getting smacked on what wasn't like the worst report in the world. And then Walgreens, Boots Alliance, down 11%. They suspended their dividend. So I think those two names, if you're looking for weakness, would be the places that I would play, as opposed to Chevron. It's not that it's not tradable. It's just not the best day trading stock whatsoever. Good to have for a dividend in your long-term account, though. It's been a solid one for a while.
All right, I'm just going to buy NVIDIA just real quick right here because it just did dip into that 122 area. And then I'm seeing right here, right now, Trump to meet with NVIDIA CEO at White House. Like, I have no idea
what
when this is. But I mean, it's not a news story or anything like that. I mean, Trump is doing these things. I mean, he talked about meeting with CEOs, talking business with everybody. Basically, the complete opposite of the complete opposite of the Biden administration that really didn't like big business or anything like that. So NVIDIA, you get some of the members there, and especially if it's going to be CEO Jensen meeting with Donald Trump. I mean, can't be bad things happening there, I wouldn't think. I mean, is Trump calling him into the White House to tell him he's slapping tariffs on his product? I mean, I don't know, but we had written down here, and the sticky note is now out. I encourage everybody to go grab it. And I wrote down 122. The problem is, there it is right there. I was not sitting there at 122. We also have Apple in there, 243 to 244 long now because it's been bumping up. So you go check out the sticky note. But I was not sitting there at 122. I wish I was. It went down to 122.30s. I don't know if we would have had that anyways, but there it goes right now to the upside. Let's take out a piece right here just in case we're wrong, but it's going upside right now on NVIDIA. Neil, there it is right there. It's a 30-cent winner just to start off the day already. So we'll drop down some cash. Did I say 30 cents? What about 50 cents? What about 60 cents? How high can we fly here on NVIDIA to start the day? So there it goes. Nice upside move for NVDA, breaking through VWAP. It's the same trade as we always do, man. We did it on Monday. We did it on Tuesday. We did it on Wednesday. And guess what, Neil? We're doing it again on Thursday right now. It's a 50-cent winner to start off your morning on NVDA. So let's see what winds up happening. I'm still bidding 122. Let's get out of this. Let's put some money in our pocket, and then we'll work off of this later. So we're already out of 40%.
Well done. Like it over there. And obviously, if Trump is meeting with him, it's got to be a good thing. I just canceled my bids on NVIDIA because I was waiting for 121, the level we had yesterday. So I think you got to move the target on this one, no questions asked. NVIDIA is going to be the chip name. I don't want to completely...
There we go. I don't like the glasses there, but that's okay.
That's really old. I can't... Yeah, get a more... Well, I don't even know where that's from. Great graphic. Love that one. I don't want to completely lose sight of Broadcom, but I think NVIDIA on this news is probably going to leap. I liked some Broadcom and I liked some Intel today, but at this point, I'm going to move target from 121 to 122. I was waiting for the price we got yesterday, not going to lie. But there always could be a breakout. The other thing you got to consider with NVIDIA, not split adjusted, zoom in, is you've got prior lows at 126. If it gets through that, you have a decent size move, or I should say gap, like a decent sized gap into about 129. So that 126 to 129 gives you another zone to be able to play in. Looks like we want the top end of the range today. In this morning, literally in my note, I'm like, every single morning it is dipped at the open this week. Dip, rip, dip, rip, dip, rip, dip, rip. So my plan of action was dip.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do? 4 days in a row. So.
But this is, but that,
no, I didn't get the news. I actually didn't.
Yeah, neither did I actually. I looked there. I saw it. No, it's on. It was on there, but I actually saw Tisha in the chat say NVIDIA just dipped to 122. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put my bid out there. Then we looked over, saw the news, and bang, there it is. This is what trading's all about, everybody. It's adjusting on the fly. Just as Neil said, we're waiting for the dip, but when the dip doesn't come, you don't always get what you want. Let's start to sing a little bit here. But here it comes upside. Let's just take that Dollar Club winner right there, right off the jump. Congratulations, everybody who's watching Trader TV Live and who has the ability to trade in the pre-market, because there it is. It's your first Dollar Club winner. We did it within the first 10 minutes of the show, so we'll wait to see what goes on now. We really like seeing this move in NVIDIA, but here we go, man. Nice move for NVDA. Sky is the limit. We're now out of 60%. There it is, man. We did it again. So hope you're having a great Friday morning as we are right here. Thank you to everybody in the chat. I mean, even if you took this trade, as Neil said, even if you missed the news, you still got $1.30 on this. So there it goes, man. NVIDIA, nice move to the upside. Yeah, it's just straight fire. Like, even if you got it when I got my first out, right, that's still a buck from here. So the news was probably about here-ish. Obviously, it's a nice move. We play the VWAP break and the pre-market break. I mean, that's, like Neil said, man, these are the plays that we always are putting up here. So, so far, so good. Will this do anything for other big tech names? Because, hey, if Trump's going to be meeting everybody, who's next, right? So we'll have to wait to see. I like Google breaking higher here. Is anything happening? I mean, the broader market's starting to go up, obviously, on some of this news. Look, it's great to see an administration that is willing to support these businesses, right? I mean, it was complete opposite for the last 4 or 5 years. So now we have to wait to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what winds up happening now? Less restrictions on mergers and acquisitions, less regulations. So we'll
yeah, that's another story as well. Oh, by the way, I should mention this with Walgreens. If you're trading Walgreens to the short side, keep in mind there's some deal speculation with that stock. So at any moment with a stock like that, if the announcement comes, you don't want to get caught short. So always trade with stop orders. I'm gonna back a. You know what? I might still want Broadcom breaking out, but I don't know. The volume just hit NVIDIA pretty big. Look, AVGO looked like a very good secondary play breakout, but when I look at what's happening volatility-wise, it's just not there on Broadcom. So it might be a bit of a pivot to look for a buy the dip. or just continue to rip on NVIDIA. But yeah, Broadcom I liked yesterday, but we'll may have to put that one on the back burner. Let's go back over to the desk.
You're showing me strange videos on this one.
Sorry.
WBA, you guys are mentioning here, just holding on to $10 here, but as you mentioned, a little bit of M&A activity around that today. I mean, this is an ugly report right across the board as well. I wanted to mention NVIDIA. I just saw it back above $3 trillion too on the market cap scale.
Oh, yeah.
So after that DeepSeek start to the week, it's clawed its way back above $3 trillion on the market cap scale. But you had more on WBA.
Yeah, really kind of a sad look here, but they're trying to shore up their balance sheet. So let's talk about it. They're suspending their quarterly dividend for the first time in 92 years. The decision here is aiming to strengthen the balance sheet, reduce debt, obviously, and improve free cash flow. Some of the factors that had to be considered here were the litigation costs, also the debt financing. The litigation cost comes from the lawsuits, the umpteen amount of lawsuits that they have for opioid and dispensing opioids incorrectly. So here's the deal. Walgreens has declined about 50% in the last 12 months. The company already, Brendo, cut its dividend in early 2024, reducing to about 25 cents per share. Believe it or not, they're actually talking about going private here. So they're in talks with a private equity firm called Sycamore Partners about potentially going private. So not the first one we've heard. CVX also being chatted about going private.
A decent amount of volume behind this move this morning, but if you zoom out, $10, big level for WBA.
If it doesn't flat bottom break it, there's always a good chance. I mean, like obviously, a level like 10 for an SSR bounce is usually pretty good, and no questions asked. And obviously, if there's somebody interested in taking them private, this would be an opportunity maybe to accumulate some more shares. I think that gives you the opportunity, at least off of the bat. The low is literally 10.01.
Kablam.
So if it doesn't break 10 at the open, I'd look for a quick shot at the SSR bounce. Overall, I'd rather be favoring shorts, and generally speaking, look at the way we play on UPST, or not UPST, UPS yesterday. Like playing the first resistance, 10.25. I feel the same way about Deckers, but I give it one chance to hold the 10 at the open for an SSR bounce, and maybe just give it a couple of cents, and that would be it on Walgreens.
All right. By the way, right now we're almost $2 in the money on NVIDIA. Traders unite. Okay, so right here, just real quickly, I have WBA as one of the top plays here, and it's opposite of what you think. It's going to be a long. You come over to the sticky note, Fabian. Right there, 1040 long break. Right there, suspension of dividend, down SSR. I'm only looking one play, and it is a break long right here of $10.40. It really could be like 1030, something like that. Let's wait to see what happens with Walgreens Boots Alliance right there. I love the long, but this has already been quite the morning there for NVDA. So there it goes, man. Right into this level. We'll take it. We will take 125 all day. So here it comes, man. Nice move. We're long at 123.14. We're now out, though, of 80% of this stock. As, that was 40%. That's 20. So there it goes, man. Our vision is 20/20 these days on these stocks. So far, so good, man. You're rolling with the best, I hope, right now, and that's with NVIDIA. So let's go, man. NVIDIA, big name on the sticky note, and there it goes right there. It's already, we just took that $1.50. So we'll see if it can get a little bit higher than that. But we're getting lighter and lighter, obviously, out of now 80% of NVIDIA. All right, if we're ready to go, we can go over to the big screen now with Adara.
The upgrades list starts with a name we haven't seen on this side in quite some time. It's Enphase. No price star here, but getting upgraded by Guggenheim, up almost 2% today. Comcast, which got beaten up pretty hard on earnings yesterday morning, actually getting an upgrade from Exane BNP Paribas. Logitech, another earnings name from earlier this week, getting an upgrade from Deutsche Bank. And Dave, upgraded here by Goldman Sachs. On the downgrade side of things, another earnings play, this one from yesterday. UPS, actually up on the day, bouncing nicely, but getting a downgrade from Robert W. Baird with a $130 price target. Occidental here, a Warren Buffett favorite, and going to be on watch with all these oil names today with tariff discussions, getting a downgrade here by Goldman Sachs. Then we have Hershey with a downgrade from Piper Sandler. Piper Sandler also downgrading fellow retail name here, or consumer name, Mondelez, guys. So lots to watch out for.
Enphase maybe it's trying to hit a bottom here on Enphase. All of these, the entire group has stunk for a while, but you've actually double bottomed at $60 just in the last week and a half. And the next step, I think, usually, I mean, it could always go lower, but once you break out the next resistance, I'm looking at like 65 or so. First Solar is a stronger stock. You could always play the TAN ETFs. They're all going to look relatively similar. But I think people have been waiting for a while for there to be some kind of a curl, all the reasons why they've been beaten up, the high capital costs, the election not going their way, I guess, if you look at it from that standpoint. But at some point, you hold a low, and there's only one place left to go. So, you know, Enphase could do it. I don't know about today. Upgrade's not really that big of a catalyst. Maybe you have to wait for earnings. And then on top of that, and this is something we've actually said with, like Michael himself has mentioned this. When you're looking for the bounce in some of these, in like an entire sector that's been down or trending down, a lot of times you don't have to pick the one that's just been the worst because it looks like it gives you the best opportunity. It's like First Solar hasn't been as bad and is making a similar curl. So Enphase looks good, but 65 would probably have to break for it to get going, and I don't know if just a random upgrade is going to give you the juice for it today.
Look, we talked about First Solar 3 days ago at 160. If you bought it on that recommendation, congratulations. It was just bouncing off of that, so you could have got it at 162 or 163 those days. Now it's all the way up. Honestly, a big shout out. I think it was Elon or Ari Pages. I'm not sure who it was in the chat that day, but I looked at it and was like, hell yeah. I remember completely, zooming out. We use the eSignal platform for that, and we talked about how low could it go into here, maybe as a low spot. But yeah, great little call out there for FSLR as it does continue to work. So yeah, NVIDIA, I mean, good call. It's now pulling back. We still have 20% of that one. Let's let it settle down a little bit. But there it goes, man. NVIDIA, nice pullback off that 125. You have to look right there. I'm excited for SMR today as well. We're going to get through all of this as the market opens up. But right now, first SMR looking to break higher today, up 2%. Some of these names, Oklo and whatnot, the nuclear names, you know, have had a nice little dip by opportunity in them. And we're starting to go upside a little bit as well. Yo, Mr. Michael Nosh, come over here. How's it going?
What's going on?
Activate mic, please.
Oh, this is new.
Good to see you. Good to see you. How was the flight?
Fantastic.
Good. Good.
Early, but
You took the Uber. I hit this animation. So was your Uber a Lamborghini?
No, I wish.
Okay.
Just a big truck. What's this Uber stock looking like anyway?
Oh, no. Well, are you into that one here? Yeah, me too. I'm long at like 66, 67. So right here at 67 flat, the daily chart trying to get back upside there on Uber as well.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you get out. You just stepped in the building, but thank you. Good to see you.
Cool.
Looking sharp, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. That's Mr. Michael Nosh is now in the building. I don't know why we'll hit, there it is. Yeah, it just goes. We're actually fancy like that. We have a little holder here for the mic. Yeah, well, we've upgraded. You know what I mean? That's putting some of these NVIDIA trades into the mics around here. So there it goes. I do want to say a big shout out to our friend, our Australian friend here, Russell Jackson. It's a 5-pack. It's a 5-pack. It's a 5-pack. It's a 10-pack. Wow, thank you so much, man. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much to Russell Jackson. You can even see here, he's wearing, if you could, I don't think I can zoom in on this, but he's wearing his Trader TV Live hoodie as well, Russell. So thank you so much for all of that, man. This guy is an absolute legend around here in Trader TV land. So thank you so much, Russell, for everything, man. That's very, very kind of you for all of those memberships. And again, membership just gives you the sort of the green in the chat, some cool emojis and things like that, and it's a way to support the show. So, Russell, we want to thank you for that. That is for sure. So, you're killing it over there, guy. All right, WBA, I like that stock. I like Uber. I mean, I like the Uber name. I looked today on my account from yesterday. Now it's up 0.5%. We were down 4.5%. in total on my position so far on Uber. So right now, with a little bit of a bounce higher, we'll get back in. But it's good to hear that Michael's looking at it. I like being in names like that when smarter guys than me are in it. So that's a good one. Uber trying to go. We did see Lyft the other day, had that little bit of a move. I don't track this price as much as I probably should if I'm going to look at Uber. But yeah, Lyft still trying to barcode down here near 13, trying to break a little north of 15 there on Lyft would probably be that trade. So, all right. Speak about getting a coffee. I might go get another one as well. Starbucks. Wow. Look, we've We bought this name in the 70s and got out in the mid to high 90s when it stopped going, right in and around here. Then all of a sudden, this happened. We should have bought good companies on the 200 period moving average. We did not. That's what I'm waiting for right now. I'm waiting for something like this to happen again. But look what happens to Starbucks. Bang, Brian Nichols in the building. There's where we were buying it in the first place. Then we get that surprise announcement of new CEO. It blasts all the way to the upside. Then it does this for a while. We wind up getting out at 98. You know, or probably 96, 97, 98, somewhere in there. Then it does this, should have bought it back. Starbucks continuously brewing up to the upside. It's percolating right now. Wow, Russell Jackson, slow down, my guy. Just send the money straight to me. There's another one,
45,
20. Man. So this is 10, 5. What is it, 45 times 5? Russell Jackson is here, man, dropping. That's over $200 in gifted memberships right now. Thank you, Mr. Russell Jackson. Absolutely fantastic. But slow down, my guy. Slow down.
You got a whole day here.
Yeah, we got a whole day, man. Let's not burn through everything. Maybe a couple good trades. Let us know, Russell. I'm going to go get a coffee, get all caffeinated up here, and imagine that. You know, not even really.
Good start. Good start.
Yeah, this is all natural right here. Maybe I shouldn't get a coffee. Look, I've already told everybody, I'm having the best week that since we've ever had Trader TV Live. And, you know, we're going to be really happy. We started off today with a banger on NVIDIA again. And we're just going to wait to see where we go from here. But again, thank you, Russell, man. You're really making us all pretty happy. There was just a hobo trader there. Oh, no. Where did hobo?
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay, you take it.
Hobo, thank you very much for the super chat as well, Hobo Trader. I can't say that with chuckling. Do prices at, say, Walmart's jump 50% on Monday with tariffs, leaps on retail? So I don't think you get that kind of an immediate necessary reaction. A lot has to play out here. Look, the theory, of course, being that if you do have that higher cost will get passed on to the consumer. I don't know that it will be that simple or that rapid. Remember, this is all negotiating tactics, so I think it's too early to tell. I wouldn't overreact. Look, personally, like you guys probably already know this, I've said it a few times, I bought Walmart on the most recent dip, and every time it goes into I'm adding to my Walmart position to my personal account this year. I want it to be one of my 2 or 3 biggest non-tech holdings. Right now it's not, and I would like it to be, so that's why I've been adding to it. So I recently bought this one off the 50-period moving average, as I've said a couple of times. So it's just a strong stock. People say the valuation might be a little bit stretched. They're poised very well relative to their competitors to weather any kind of tariff storm. And I think any weakness would be a buying opportunity in Walmart particularly as well. And I get it, Sebastian, you're not wrong. It is very expensive. That's the reason I'm not like piling into it. I'm basically just buying dips. And when it's something like that, like I'm not a complete value person, but it does trade at a high multiple, but then so does Apple. So do a lot of stocks trade at big time premiums. A lot of times that's what's going to happen to the stronger names is if you never are willing to buy them when they're quote unquote expensive, then you just don't end up owning them. And in the long term, I'd rather not get caught in that kind of a trap. You know, I made the same mistake with ARM, and then I don't have enough in ARM. So let's get on to the desk. It's already 9 o'clock in here. Let's get up to the desk so we can talk a little bit about the future, I believe.
60.99, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES March contract. We're well above that level, that 6,100 point level. We already taken out the overnight high, 61.30. So here's the deal. We're so close to that 61.30. We're going to be looking at 61.50 as resistance. If we sell off for whatever reason, we're using 6,100, Brendo, as support.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump down to the description of this video. Top link in the description will get you to the sign-up page for the watch list. Absolutely free resource for you. We do all your homework for you daily and just send it to you, completed for free. That easy. All you need is an email address. Check that out. 4% right now, a little bit of a downtick currently for Apple, but I mean, it's all positive as far as the earnings report goes. There was a slight dip out of the gate initially, but as soon as the forecast came out, it was up and away for this thing. tons of analysts with positive notes, positive moves on Apple this morning.
Yeah, Brando, so look, there was two things that they missed on. Let's just get to those because everything else was good. They missed on iPhone sales. It was specifically China related. They did well in North America. They did well in other areas of the world. They're saying South America, the Middle East, really growing at a faster rate. They also missed on the wearables. I'm talking about the AirPods. I'm talking about the Apple Watch. Didn't do well there. They need a refresh. Now, with respect to their missed sales for iPhones in China, they're trying to blame that on the lack of Apple intelligence, basically saying that there is no incentive for people to upgrade to the newer models. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Everything else, though, did quite well. We can show you here EPS, we beat, revenue, we beat. Again, iPhone sales we missed, but Mac sales did better, iPad sales did better, and goodness gracious, the revenue from services continues to grow. They're making about $100 billion a year now in services with 80-something% gross margins. They're talking about low double-digit growth, Brendo, for the services business as that continues to unfold.
Yeah, and good on them. I mean, one of the criticisms lately has been expansion and into other products and into other areas. So good to see. I have yet, going back to the iPhone note, I have yet to come across someone who says the iPhone 16 is great.
No.
And is very, very happy with it.
Have never gotten that feedback
For the most part, they're all saying it's terrible and maybe the worst one in a while anyway. So, yeah, it goes in line with a miss there. 247 is where we're opening right now, which is that low, or where we're trading right now here in the pre-market.
So look, come on, get on camera, man. Oh, come, Michael! I literally Michael's right here, and he just doesn't want to. There, he's having his morning energy drink. He just got off the plane and came here. But we were actually talking about some robotics as well, and there was a way to tie that into Apple because he was just at a conference down south, and they were talking. You know, Jensen was there and was talking about robotics, and that's the next wave, and NVIDIA is going to be powering that. My thing is Apple's going to need to get in that game via probably partnership with somebody. That would get really interesting down the line. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to tell you that the declining China sales are, not any kind of a concern. That, the fact that they haven't really blown it away yet with AI, that's not a little bit of a concern for Apple. I get it; it's not all great, but at the end of the day, it just held the 200. It just broke out the 50. Like, I'm looking at just the momentum of the trade right now for Apple. So, you can stick a fork in 242, which would have been the normal sort of go zone here. And then I just got to look at what are some of these prior highs. Like this little range in here, 245 into 247.5. That's where we're at. So this is kind of like the target area. If we're holding here, look for continuation long, maybe a mean revert. We've been by the dips pretty much every single day. So if you look at yesterday, that's what it did. It was a dip buy into the open, kind of held, then did a reversion. You had to take your profit early because everything sort of went the other direction. Then it double bottomed the same price. And we've seen a lot of that kind of stuff happening this week. So that's what, oh yeah, you guys can't, there we go. Make sure you can see it, you double bottom in there. So that's all I want to see. Continuation of that pattern here for Apple. If you lose the bid, I don't think you necessarily want to fight it too hard under that 45 to fill in the gap. Kind of like Tesla. Like Tesla did rally early on that break, but then, it had to make itself a bottom early in the morning. That's the kind of week we've been having.
You got all these super chats, I guess, right?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it right now. But anyways, we do have, I'm not going to say too much about Apple. My Apple's a buy at 243 to 244. We're going to be hella long Apple at some point. We love this stock. I'll talk about it in a minute. I haven't even read these yet, so hopefully it's good. Joseph, I have 7 days in a row profits. Let's go, Joseph. Ranging from the low 500 to as high as 1200. That is beautiful. You'd be great around here. You guys have helped me to plug in the holes in my game and having mindset. Thank you so much to Trader TV Live. You are welcome. Joseph Birch Music, you must be on one. I mean, I'm on one, you're on one. That is great. We're all on one. And Russell Jackson, still no bacon floss. You are right about that, but we do have.
It's true.
I mean, no, I don't. Yeah, I got to put a piece of bacon. Fabian, edit that, man. I got to put some piece of bacon in my hand there. But there it is, 2010. Russell, Joseph Birch. It is a Friday, and we are on live one more time talking about stocks. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We've been having a record week as far. It might not be true, but it's close. As far as viewers. All right.
It's got to be close.
Yeah, it's got to be close. Got to be close because again, if you guys are looking for winning trades and big opportunities, I think Apple could be there today again. So I said play back to the 200 period moving average. I'm glad that that's starting to be a thing. There's more and more traders obviously looking at these plays into the dips. We've been absolutely crushing these plays all week. I'm glad that there's more people looking at them when there's earnings. I took this from our good friend Brian Shannon. We introduced it to the first time. Neil talked about it the other day and wanted to know what exactly that saying was. And it is, when there's a gap, it's a pullback to VWAP. So right there, that 245 to 244, these are the plays for Apple. We've been hitting them all week. I'll be here to take it, and we'll be putting on some size. So there it goes. Thank you so much to everybody who's been participating in the chat today. Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. But I'm going to do an early call out right now to everybody that is here. All right, so you see this little button right there? That is the like button. You got to hit that to get going. Hit the like and subscribe. Over 6,400 of you watching right now. I'm going to refresh this and check back to see how many likes we have in 5 minutes. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let's get going with Trader TV Live. Right now, we got to watch that ad first. Of course, got to pay those bills, and then we'll go from there. So right now, over 800 of you hitting that like button. Keep going. We need to get over 1.2K. Let's be where we were yesterday, and share it. There's actually little. Here, let me show you this right now. Let me just waiting for this to end. There it is. And nope, we have another ad. Okay. Boy, you want to? I need to get YouTube Premium. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the share. All right, Intel coming up next. NVIDIA pulling back just a little bit. We still only have 20% left. And there it is, Neil. We just got double the likes right there since we asked oh so kindly. 1,000 of you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I just see live right here. Fish or something. Let me get who this is right here. What's up, Fish McCon? What do you want to say here? When you say, oh, there we go. Another great question. When you say 200 MA, it's a simple moving average on the 1 minute chart. This is a 1 minute chart. It's been an absolutely gold line to watch, right? I mean, we talked about the 50 period moving average on our 1 minute chart. Nobody was using it. Everybody's using it now. This 200 period, I think, could be something as well. It's 123 on NVIDIA. So let's look out for that. Thank you so much for that. And here's another one. Oh my. It just doesn't stop. Mishari right there with $5 and a little Oompa Loompa. What do you call these things? Dancing around there. Thank you so much, man. It's an absolutely awesome experience to be here, sitting here every day. You know, there's no better place for me to be, I feel like, than right here with everybody. So thank you for all the continued support. You've seen me grow immensely as a trader, and I've seen this show grow, and we can see the chat is really, really excited here today. So, all right, let's go back up to the desk. It's 9:15, 9:12. We still got a few things to cover, including, I was going to say, I don't want to say the advanced money destroyer because it's done a lot more than that, man. I mean, if you were in this name for the last 25 years, you've lost money. So let's go back over to Intel and see, woe is me.
We're giving some of this back this morning. If you look at what happened after the close yesterday, it was still 1.5%, but much higher, almost 21, I guess we got to 20.75 at the highs yesterday. Trying to hold 20.50 right now, or just below that. I mean, some good parts and some bad parts here, but overall, I mean, I don't even think it got to anywhere close to the range that was expected for the earnings.
No.
So, I mean, kind of a muted result overall. I mean, we're still at the bottom end of the range if you zoom out on a daily chart as well.
We didn't get that spike. I think we were talking about 10% expected move, something like that. Yeah, we're 1.5 right now. So here's the deal. EPS, they did 13 cents. The street was looking for 12, so that's a beat. Revenue, 14.25 billion, exceeding the 13.8 that the street was looking for. But the deal is here, it's still down 7% year over year. The net loss, about 126 million. Compare that to last year when they profited about 2 2/3 billion. Look, the Q1 guidance, not bad. Projected revenue, 11.7 to 12.7. That's a bit lower than the 12.87 the street was looking for. They're expected to break even on profit, missing the analyst estimates of 9 cents per share. They're still looking for that new CEO. They're still doing a dual CEO right now set up. They're also looking to focus on some different processors here. So they canceled the Falcon Shores AI processor to shift towards what they're calling the Jaguar Shores AI product, which is good for data centers. Their PC segment bled. Data center and AI didn't do well, but what did very well, which actually exceeded analyst forecasts by 10%, was the network and edge segment there. They're also on receiving end of an almost $8 billion government grant. And Berndo, they're in advanced discussions to sell a stake in the Altera, the programmable chips segment. So we'll have to see how that does.
A lot of people were looking for some sort of CEO-related statement even, but it didn't come. Still, we have this $19.20 area, guys, to work with.
I don't know. I think they said like a couple months ago it was like gonna be a 4 to 6 month process, and you got zero update on that, and you didn't get anything. And the only good thing is, by Intel standards, it was actually a pretty solid report. By everyone else's standards, it's a bad report. But for them, not so terrible. They're trying to streamline. They're trying to look. You know what? It hasn't made a fresh low. That's what I'll be focused on today. $19 just seems to be holding for whatever reason. So that's just how it is at this point. I don't know if you'll get that deep of a dip, but the $20 level was resistance for like 3 days this week, and all of a sudden you're consolidating above it. So if it can hold 20 bucks, I think it maybe, but it's looking like the bottom has been in at this 19 level for a while. You got a little V-shaped recovery when it dipped under 20 yesterday, so try to hold that $20 level now. The SPY just did a little bit of a dip there. It's not huge or anything, but we're kind of cruising along, and then you got a little bit of a flat bottom break. Could have been, Walgreens broke 10, but I can't think that's going to move the market that much. No, I was looking at my charts. It's like, well, nothing was.
It's not even in this.
But nothing was falling. Like, literally nothing on my charts was falling except for the SPY just there. So I didn't really get a chance to see what might have dragged this down. Apple's holding up. Google's okay. So at least a little dip in the SPY. Not really sure what caused it yet.
All right, Russell, I accepted. I accepted your duel for 5,000 points. I hope you somehow win. Oh no, Russell, I'm sorry.
Stop.
All right, I'll figure out how to do it again.
You're supposed to be able to
but sorry about that, Russell. There we go. I told you the week I'm having, man. I don't know if anybody should be dueling me on there right now. But I'll figure out how to duel you again. I think I just have to put hashtag duel. We'll do it again, Russell. Yeah, just real quickly, NVIDIA is, for me, a stay away. I have zero interest in trading Intel today, not NVIDIA. I'm in NVIDIA. It's not exciting. We had it here yesterday on the recap show. The recap show was exciting when it came out because we had that move up. But this, the expected move here for Intel, we put it out yesterday, 10% expected on the move for INTC. The fact that it moved 1%. How come I don't have like a snore button on here? But at the end of the day, this one's not doing too much. I have almost zero interest in trading this here today. I feel like it could be just a push and pull day for it, meaning like, they'll try to push it back up, then it will pull back in, or vice versa, drips down, pulls back to VWAP. So I think we'll have to watch it. We always try to play VWAP on earnings, but when the price is at VWAP and has been there the whole morning, it's not exciting enough for me. So we talk about how simple we are as traders, as I am as a trader. That is support and resistance and catalysts and very, very simple moving averages. There's absolutely nothing else in my playbook. And then there's the gut instinct, which I think is the number one. But at the end of the day, for me, the gut instinct tells me no on Intel. The catalyst tells me yes, but the action on the stock tells me no. So I'm going to stay away on this one. And there's another one. This is your second super chat here today. We might have to, we should be celebrating because Michael Noss is here. Maybe we'll run out and get a big thing of Tim Hortons coffee or something. But thank you so much to Mishari again. I believe that was 50 plus 50. I think that's 100 coming through from that one. So thank you so much again for all of that. Everybody wants me to go over everything. I've been asked to go over IBIT, the TQQs. Someone asked me to go over Meta in the chat as well. Look, right now it's 9:18. We do have this rundown to go through. And lucky for whoever asked about Meta and crypto, because that's coming up right now.
Meta is still strong, yeah, $700, just, what is this, $8 away right now? So, what a week it's been. All-time highs yesterday. All-time highs on the earnings, but during the session, it was yesterday, 0.8% right now. Shocking no one, a little bit more research into what happened back on Monday with the whole DeepSeek story. Yeah, it was China that was pumping that.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised there, Brendo. So We'll have to keep an eye on that. With respect to Meta, great earnings report earlier in the week, coming into that $700 level that you were talking about. What I really took from the earnings report was the kind of, I don't want to say renewed relationship, but a new relationship right now with Broadcom and Meta and how they're going to start using their chips. I want to see exactly how they function relative to the NVIDIA chips. They're looking at using them for advertising to be able to kind of do a predictive model for advertising as well as Reels. And we know, while most people feel that Reels are not as good as TikTok, especially that algorithm, we'll have to see if some of those new GPUs help. There is this story, Fabian, though. There looks like there is leakers in Meta, and that's really displeasing Mark Zuckerberg, who was basically making very candid comments during an all-hands-on-deck meeting. A lot of those comments leaked in the media. There was a Wednesday meeting, so they're looking at shoring up. What are you reading there? You want me to make it bigger? Here we go. Looking
why do they have to put stars on socks?
I don't know. That's not even a word that I would worry about.
Okay.
But that's it. There it is right there. Shout out to Ben Zenga.
I was like, what was that Mark Zuckerberg said? Oh, it sucks. Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah, I mean, still, great looking week, great looking chart here, guys, for Meta.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's just a little weird, but it doesn't. A little fun for that. But look, Meta looked very, very good off the open yesterday. Went for the VWAP dip buy. Was thankful to come out of it just sort of scalping the win, because look what happened when it lost VWAP yesterday. And there was something in the tape, and we're talking about this. It would just get to 703, 704 after bouncing off 700. After bouncing off 700. And you could see the sellers just holding it up there every single time. And if you get to that level again, I think you could have some trouble punching through. Meta is not doing anything. Like, it's really kind of stuck underneath the afternoon resistance. It needs to break this 694. But Alphabet, on the other hand, I mean, Alphabet doesn't suck. Meta doesn't suck, but I mean, whatever, since we're using that word. Alphabet, fresh all-time highs today. So Meta already did it, and Alphabet's doing it today. And this is the one that's going. So I like it back into, in my note, we were chilling at 201 when I wrote I tweeted a chart out, and we're at 201, a little bit lower. And I was thinking we could dip into the 200 level, it being a Friday. Might have to move the goalposts on that one a little bit. Prior highs are at 201, and you got VWAP, and you have, pre-market lows at 201.50. But I'm looking for that play to the long side on Alphabet. Nothing against Meta, it's just the way that it fell yesterday as we tried to buy it through VWAP. And with Google looking a little bit more fresh on the day, I'd rather go there.
All right. Yeah, for me, I mean, we talked about this yesterday about how I didn't think there was a better chart in the business than Meta. I mean, the chart master, Michael Noss over there, I mean, I guess get his opinion later on today. But I really think that Meta bouncing off the 50-period moving average there, holding it multiple times over the last couple months, all the way back in. The only time that we actually lost it was in the summer. And we know what happened there, that August 5th sort of date that, came back in. There was some heightened volatility at that time. But it really loves the 200-period moving average. But can we get that again? I don't know. This name was just at 440 in August. And that's not even that very, very dip by low. It's right there. Meta is now, I was actually checking, I think this is now my largest position. Like, I was just looking at my accounts yesterday, and it's the fact that this has just happened. Like, we just gained right there, more than 10% since January 17th. So in this major mega cap name, top 10 market cap company in the world has just put on 12 or 13% in a week and a half. So, I mean, this is an incredible story. Continues to work, man. It's Meta to the upside, and it just keeps on going. So I think you just want to wait for opportunities. If you do see something like this dip down today, and I'm not sure what the Nasdaq's going to do here. We're underneath VWAP. I could see a dip by opportunity coming in Meta, and the only spot that I would look at was yesterday's low. Or if you really are excited about this, it's only $7 away. The problem is, if you buy 685, I just wonder where your out is, because you're not going to stop out at $1 for $1 on Meta. Like those that do fine, but that's not going to be a long-term strategy. So I just think that you want to be very, very careful with what you're doing here on Meta. And I would rather wait for this ultimate move down, because again, what winds up happening when risk gets taken off is often traders will sell winners. They've seen such a huge move in Meta that, if you're looking to raise some capital and you're a little bit uncertain of what to come even next week. I mean, we have a major earnings session next week as well. If Meta does fall out here on Google, remember, we still have ad revenue to talk about when Google comes through. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with Meta. And for me, the only dip buy opportunity isn't around the 680 mark here today. So if we can get 680, then you can sort of use this 675 as your bottom. I think you need to give Meta a $600 name, at least $3, $4, $5 worth of room. So that's why the 680 marker gives you something to talk about. It's a strong name. You can buy it on dips and you have your out. So that's my little look there on Meta.
All right, crypto next year. Downside a little bit here this morning, but still holding this nice uptrend for IBIT. This is unrelated, but noteworthy anyways. BlackRock, who is the creator of IBIT, if you hadn't known, went pretty heavy into Rigetti just before this 1,400% decline that we saw after Jensen walked out on stage and said it's going to be a while before quantum is a thing. And heavy to, the tune of 538,966 shares. So they weren't playing around and have to eat that, I guess, at this point. But we just refreshed our memories on BlackRock's assets under management, which is just staggering. So they're fine.
Yeah, I wonder how much that made a dent in the 11.6 trillion, Brendo, that they have under management right now. Yeah, the BlackRock's big boy. All right, let's talk about crypto over here. So I mentioned this story yesterday. This is not a new story, but we have the Czech National Bank approving a reserve proposal, Norway's sovereign wealth fund increasing their exposure, and then now we saw the Swiss bank, the Swiss central bank, looking at creating also a crypto reserve fund, Brendo. This is one of the first steps, I think, we see that these sovereign wealth funds or these national banks or central banks really start holding this as an asset. It could be a good tailwind for it. I think we got about 105,000 overnight, trading a little bit below it right now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, not a huge range here as far as Bitcoin is concerned, guys, but nice level to work off if you wanted to.
It's ETH going today, everybody. So it's up like 3. Well, okay, percentages don't matter on crypto, but ETH is moving today, and it's definitely looking good. Let me just go on over and show you the last couple of days in ETH. It's nothing against Bitcoin. Obviously, that's been on a very nice tear, but when you pull up IBIT here, you had the breakout yesterday. You got past the 105 level. Got past 60 out here on IBIT. And you're right back underneath. So I think, there's momentum in ETH right now. I think that's going to be worth a look for all you crypto traders. Not going to be on the top of my radar today, however. We can trade. There's ways for us to trade ETH, but unless Bitcoin can get back above, or IBIT gets back above 60, it kind of looks a little bit bearish to start the open. So I'm going to stay away from crypto until I see some strength come into it. But yeah, but great look for everyone that's been yelling about ETH. In the chat. And again, thank you, Russell Jackson. He's sending gifts and points in the chat and everything. And we're going to have a fun one today for sure. And hopefully ETH continues to go to the moon.
Yeah, of course, man. Send some ETH over here. It was shout out to Malcolm Aldridge. Wrong team, but thank you for supporting Trader TV Live. There, another AL East foe that the Blue Jays, of course, will not have to worry about because once again, our ownership should be fired again because they just dropped $16 million for someone that will play maybe 6 starts, maybe that. Neil, honestly, man.
He adds to our Hall of Fame register players who actually played a single game that went to the Hall of Fame.
That's embarrassing. The Toronto Blue Jays are an embarrassing organization.
I'm cheering.
No, I know you're just joking, but I feel like I'm just so insulted that we live, not that we live in Toronto, we love Toronto, but the fact that how that team has been run into the ground with the most recent management.
I blame Roger Stock.
It's actually, I blame management. I mean, I cannot believe, if management was a little bit better and they could raise some trophies, Roger Stock might be actually going to the upside. So it's actually really embarrassing what's happening. But okay, IBIT right now, look, I didn't look at IBIT any today really because of that exact reason. It's not moving again. We had it yesterday or a couple days ago long at 60, and man, that was a banger. Now I think we just wait for that to blow up. What's happening right now is price discovery in Bitcoin. They're trying to figure out if it can hold above that 100,000 and if it wants to pop above that 108, 109. So I feel like it's holding the 50-period moving average fantastic. This is a great dip buy opportunity, and actually I'm looking to get more Bitcoin. I actually looked, my total holdings out of all my investment is 4%. Right now in crypto in general. That includes everything, Solana, Cardano, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Those are my four major pieces that I have right now in the crypto space. What time is it? 9:28. Okay. I was going to call up all the coins and have a rundown of that. So we'll do that later on in the show. Only a minute now until open.
Yeah, quickly, let's get to Amazon here, trying to take out pre-market highs right now. There was a note yesterday suggesting they're going to drop a whole bunch more money on advertising on X, which is good for Elon, getting some more advertising dollars coming through. They were talking earlier in the week about shifting some of the debt from Elon's purchase of Twitter to another bank, and because of that, they had to file some earnings, and earnings were basically flat.
Interesting.
Revenue on year-over-year basis that I saw anyway. So it will be good to get some ad revenue going for Elon before he goes and buys US Steel's ticker symbol so he can come public again.
And apparently, leaked internal memos or emails from Elon suggest revenue remains weak for X, Brendo. Yeah. User growth stagnant. The company barely breaking even, unconfirmed, of course. So take that for what it's worth. Amazon, though, is ramping up their advertising on X after pulling it a year ago. In 2023, a controversy broke out over anti-Semitic content, which led to more advertisers withdrawing from X. All right, the bell.
10 seconds, guys.
Right.
10 seconds ago.
100,000, but we're ringing this bell in 2 and 1. It is Friday. Yay. Well, job rushing over there, Adara. Immediately, just one more note. We talked about the tariffs and GM and whatnot. If it gets to 50 or 51, we like both of those levels. But immediately watching a little bit of a dip here into Apple. So we're going to see if we can't pick that one up on trend here for AAPL. 245.5 is about that pre-market low. Tesla broke 400 as well. So watch out, Tesla running to the upside. Just looked up and saw some strength there in Tesla. And NVIDIA is trying to bounce. Where'd it bounce? You got, really? Where am I on the wrong side of 50? So it did bounce off 123.5. I was sitting at 44, oddly enough.
All right, we're into Apple right now, so let's see what winds up happening. It's down into 246 and change. Remember, we wanted 243 to 244 for Apple, so just looking at Alibaba, it doesn't look open yet, so we'll have to watch out for that one. But here it is right now. We are into Apple. Let's get a little bit more here as it's starting to rally back up, and I mean, let's just see where it goes. Now we're long 246.28 right now for Apple. We want to see if this can break that high of 248, right? So we'll get something out if it comes back into that pre-market low of 246.50 or so. But right now, here it comes back in for Apple. We always talk about that 200 period SMA. So that's right there at 245. So we'll wait there, see if we can get a piece down there on Apple. So I'm still long NVIDIA. That's still $1 in the money. But here goes Apple again. So we're into Apple and NVIDIA. I look over, same positions for Neil. So here we go. Let's see what winds up happening. Two stocks that are in play, and we're all over them.
Finally, put it on the right side of, that was a silly thing to have been bidding 40. It was a keystroke. I was bidding 44 instead of 50 on the other side of 50 on NVIDIA. It's now blasting right back into the highs. You're going to see 125 any second now. My goodness, Tesla 405 already? Okay, so Tesla's also going, but NVIDIA right back into the high of the day. It's Apple, which I guess is going to be the more concern. No, Apple does not hold the pre-market lows on AAPL. So first swing and miss on Apple, NVIDIA looking good, Tesla absolutely flying to the upside, nice. Everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's see what else is going on, because this is what I was talking about here with Tesla. I just looked up on my fourth chart, and Tesla just did an absolute moon job to the upside here. Now 1% up after being down. Somebody likes Tesla once again. It rejected 407 in the afternoon, so maybe watch out. If you're long that one, nothing wrong with taking a little bit of profit.
So we're actually long NVIDIA at 123.70 right now. So we just bought a little bit right there. I do want to buy some more here at the view up or at the 200 period moving average. We have loaded up into Apple right now. We told you we would do something like this. So now let's wait to see what happens to Apple. We'd still want to get a little bit more shares because we're still looking for that 244, 245 area as well. So we'll wait for that one. And then NVIDIA, here another name. And again, just if you're interested, like these are the top two names. We were in Apple, we were in NVIDIA early, and we're in Apple early. The top two names on today's sticky notes. out. So we're all waiting for WBA to do something as well.
It's tank.
Here comes NVIDIA. Yeah, we're already below everything here on NVDA as far as sort of that pre-market level. That's 125. We already got a piece out there. But if we could dip back in, it's still that 123, 124 area right there that we're pretty interested. Sorry, 123.40 area that we're interested in, and it's coming back in right now. So we could take a little bit more of NVIDIA right here. Again, my average price now 123.70 now on NVDA. Let's see how far it can drop. It looks like it's coming in quite nicely right now on NVDA. We wrote down 122 as our area. So we're going to wait to see if that can come in or not.
It's starting to come right back, come in as well. Walgreens is absolutely tanking. Deckers was the other name they reported. It wasn't that bad of a report. We didn't really go over it for you guys, but I'm looking for an SSR bounce. Short sell restricted down 10% or more on Deckers. It's already made a pretty big move back into 200. Might have to look for something along the lines of VWAP, but that one's already going. Walgreens is now tanking and just took out 970, so you're continuing to flush on Walgreens. If it's going to make the bounce play, it needs to get back through that key $10 level. NVIDIA didn't quite tag. All right, so we didn't really make a lower low. We still haven't pressed down into 123. We just held VWAP a second time here on NVIDIA. And one last one for you. GM is now coming right into that 51. This is where when the tariffs got announced last night, this is where GM made its curl. So looking for the play off of this 51 high on General Motors. Going to effect allegedly tomorrow. At least that's the plan, according to Sir Donald.
All right, we're long the two names that we said we would be long, Apple and NVIDIA, so we're going to continue to look for that. We've been taking some out on NVIDIA. We're going to wait to see where it goes. I want to look at Walgreens, another trade that I had marked down here as a long. It's still not there, up to 10.20. We can go to Walgreens. The other play that we had on here was SMR, so let's have a quick look to see what SMR is doing here early. Wow, we're going to go 2 for 2 right now on these positions. Let's see what winds up happening. SMR, downside play. I'm still looking for it to break that 24.50 marker upside. It's not near there yet. All right, well, we were just in the money. Now we're out of the money as Apple trying to figure itself out. I'm thinking right now that we'll try to avoid this too big of a hit. If this breaks down through 245, I'm actually going to put a stop right now on that play and then just get out if it does break that, and then we'll regroup it later on because, like I said, I don't want to just, we've had such a great week that I'm not going to just sit here and sort of like get out of some of these plays and hold them all the way to the downside if we go wrong. So there it goes, man. Apple is now broken to the downside.
I'm out at 88.
Yeah, that's fine. So Neil's out there as well as it breaks back down below 245. So there we go, man. I'm going to look to get back into Apple, but just not right this second as it has pulled back in a little bit. Maybe it's broken. I mean, here it comes right back in again. Good thing we were taking some profit there on NVIDIA, obviously, as there's the buy. We did not get anything near 124. So maybe it comes up, maybe it doesn't, but Apple's coming back in nicely right now to a spot where we can probably start to buy at some point here. Again, a little risky because of what's been happening here today as Apple's going the other way, but that's okay. We'll wait to see where it does go. IBIT right now, 104 on Bitcoin, so that's not doing too much. And then one more play before you. I want to see in this move down what is happening with Alibaba. That's also coming into that $100 marker. You know, I wasn't thinking short. I mean, obviously the market's coming back in now. The Nasdaq's still up that almost that 2/3%. ES holding as well. All right. I mean, I'm still pretty happy with this NVIDIA trade. I'm just going to sit in it.
Yeah, NVIDIA is holding up really well. So is Tesla. Tesla doesn't have a red bar yet. It's looking very, very strong. Tesla wasn't necessarily on my radar. I'm into GM now. Like I said, I got it at Apple at that 88. I don't like even dollar stops, so when 45 breaks, I usually give it like 10 cents or so. But here's Tesla. It's right into that. It's not an all-time high, but local high here for yesterday and the last couple of days. The other name in big cap tech land that we're paying attention to is going to be obviously Alphabet. Well, maybe it's not obvious to everybody, but Alphabet breaking out. So fail to have prioritized Apple over Google because Google is the one that is breaking fresh highs. Give us VWAP. You've just made the break. VWAP is sitting at 203. That's where we want to jump into. SMR is going. Oklo, SMR, those are strong ones. So shout out to my boy Kave. We did some great exercises yesterday. He likes Oklo, but I like that whole space.
Okay. Yeah, we're in SMR here, and we're back into Apple. Apple's trying to work out for us now. It's 30 cents in the money. We said, I mean, again, why do we just don't follow our own rules? I mean, I don't know. We said 244, so we buy the 244, and then it works. So we'll have to wait to see, though. It's not necessarily working yet. That was a quick little 50-cent hit or so there on Apple that first time. We were unable to get anything out on the upside, so everything that we took as a hit was the hit, right? All right, so there goes NVIDIA. I mean, we did it again on that one, at least, as NVIDIA is going to be a positive stock. So far there today, as there's a nice little dip buy opportunity. And again, we have NVIDIA right here at 123. If the market's going to work, then NVIDIA is going to work. So that should work. All right, Apple now, still waiting for that 243 to come in. SMR, let's just have a little bit of a look. I'm getting out if we break back below this pre-market high. I was debating taking that. We probably should have. I'm not sure what I was doing with 24. Yeah, it must have just been right there. Yeah, this little level right there, 24. Yeah, that's 24.20. So we could have got a little bit better. I'm not sure why I selected 24.50. I mean, I wrote it down. Was that the price that I wrote down? Yeah, so I'm not, right into there. All right, that makes sense. So this was from yesterday's high, right in there, 23.35. So yeah, we're a little bit early on this position. So we're gonna have to give it a little bit of room. But hey, if the market just had a rebound, if this doesn't hold, then we're going to get out for 50 cents on SMR. It won't be the end of the world, but I mean, everything else is coming down as well. Apple coming into this 243 and NVIDIA, a good couple outs there near the top side of it, but yeah, for right now, NVIDIA just holding out near positive for us, but not doing much.
No, it's not. Well, it's doing better than what I think Apple is doing, at least for now, but it's like Tesla's the strongest thing. You're going to be followed by Google. Just Walgreens is here holding VWAP. So what we did yesterday with the name that was down this bad was look for a VWAP bounce to maybe short it. It's underneath that $10 level that's going to be key. Let's go onto the desk with Adara. Okay, now NVIDIA is starting to go.
We like it.
Yeah, just worth noting here as the market kind of falls a little bit, we are having some responses from current Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, although it is worth noting he's already stepped down for the next election. He's basically saying that there will be a response here from Canada with regards to these tariffs that have been proposed or put forward there by Donald Trump. Also saying here that any Canadian response to tariffs would be, quote, purposeful, forceful, and immediate. So just be aware here, some potentially tariff retaliation from Canada. We haven't heard anything from Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, as of yet, though previously she said she didn't think that Trump would actually put these tariffs through. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. But be aware here, lots of volatility on that front, guys.
All right, so right now, NVIDIA, thank you, Adara, for all that. We'll look at some of these tariff plays as we go through as well. But you know what we're doing right now, man? We've got a big boy position right now on NVIDIA. So there it goes, nicely done to the upside. NVIDIA's been such a great trade all week for us. And look here today, it will just carry the day as there it goes, nicely done to the upside right again. Traded perfect upside. We'll see. We've already got it there. We got it there. We got it. That was an early trade. We barely had any shares at that level, but there comes in. We buy VWAP. We buy the 200, and then it rips to the north side there for NVDA. And of course, we have enough shares and enough lots here to be able to start to take it out as it goes up. Because this market, I mean, I think it could still blow up a lot higher. Again, with Jensen being invited to the White House, that should be a great little sign right there. Apple's the one, of course, that is not working out for us as that drops again right into this level of 243. This is the level that we're trying to sort of respect down here, but it's getting disrespected. So we're going to drop out of this if it comes out one more time. There it is. We're going to go 0 for 2, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like it wants to break it, right? I mean, it's trying to. We're going to give it, there it is. We're going to give it 10 more cents for Apple. But yeah, it doesn't even look like no relief rallies at all. Oops. That's not Apple. I'm on NVIDIA still, damn it. There's Apple right here. There's no relief rally there it goes. There's no relief rally at all. That should have stopped me out there. All right, no, sorry, we're waiting for 75 break. There's no relief rally at all in this name. So I'm getting a little nervous here about Apple. I'm going to put something out here in the teens. There we go. We get a 19. But here it comes right back up. And Neil, we're in that club again, boy. There it goes. It's NVIDIA to the high side. If you don't like energy or winning trades, you're in the wrong spot right now as there goes NVIDIA. Nicely traded to that upside. Let's take some more out up here, right? I mean, this is the benefit of doing what we're doing there. You sort of stick your neck out, you put a little bit more risk on, and then you're able to capture some of these profits to the upside. We're going to try to do our best to hold on. We still have 80% of this trade, and we still have everything on Apple. So let's wait to see what winds up happening. We're only long at 243 right now, but sorry, it's at 243. It's a 70-cent hit when this breaks, and we're actually getting out at the quarter mark. So this will be a dollar club reverse first dollar club here on Apple as it just keeps on falling. And we're going to stop buying this name until something happens because no relief rally at all in Apple today. This is a big fail.
Keep in mind, we have a number at 9:45. We've got PMI. Chicago PMI is out in just 2 minutes, everybody. So we are going to get an economic number before 10 o'clock. I'm now looking, it's obviously trend down on Apple. Quick look, clean trend line, looking for the bounce. I tried off the pre-market lows. You saw what happened. It's already blown through, so that one's going to be a loss. Going to make the break of this trend line, I'm going for the long. But that's the rule. If we don't break trend, then I'm not going to take any shots at it. We're still in General Motors. And then the other thing we're looking at, of course, is Walgreens, Boots, WBA. They're not even getting to VWAP. It's a very gentle trend to the downside on Walgreens. It's not really giving you that entry point that you want. Clearly, it's not breaking out through 10 either. Looking to add to GM and also start covering as we get into VWAP in here. This is where it was when the tariffs came in. And Tesla is still undefeated. It's still all green candles on Tesla. Alphabet is pulling into VWAP, however, so this should give us an opportunity. These are all-time highs on Google, everybody.
Yes.
Every single, well, I mean, okay, obviously 204 is now the all-time high.
Yeah,
but every single fresh high is an all-time high on Google. So we want to buy this one into VWAP. This is where the strength is. You know, should have prioritized it over Apple at the open, but all you can do is move on to the next trade. So we get a bounce off VWAP. We're looking long on Alphabet. I haven't checked on ETH, but we'll do in a bit.
Yeah. All right. So SMR, it just went up into 10 cents in the money. That's the most it's ever gotten right here. It went up to 24.60 3 times basically. So I still don't have an offer there, but I did not have an offer. I do now at 60 for 5%. I mean, I still want to see if this one can run. We still have this 24 out for us, so it's 50 cents worth of risk right there. So we are trying to get that 50 cent to go 1-to-1, but as you guys know, we scalp, and we scalp pretty good. So if that can come in, we'll do that again for us. And I'm looking now 240 for Apple. I mean, if it comes back into yesterday's levels, right into there, that's not horrible. I mean, it will wipe out everything on the day. They're really taking Apple down right now, big time. So that's a move that's hit us here today. So far today, we'll go 4 for 5 this week, and 2 for 3 here today. But we're still going. It's NVIDIA and SMR on my mind, and then we have Walgreens, Boots Alliance. That is not going anywhere. I'm actually going to cancel that trade. I thought there was a chance that could rip to the upside. What's up, Adara?
We have Chicago PMI here, 39.5, slightly below the forecast of 40 there, but above the previous print of 36.5. NASDAQ kind of continuing in this little uptrend here on the 3-minute chart. Also, I want to make you guys aware here of a runner. It's ASTS, that's AST Space Mobile. This name is a pretty sizable short float as well. And when it runs, it tends to run pretty significantly, basically here announcing they received a grant from the FCC, Federal Communication Commission or Center there, basically granting it the special temporary authority in the U.S. with its strategic partners, AT&T and Verizon. So AST getting an FCC grant here sharply to the upside. I'm also seeing JBLU running around here, guys.
All right. Thanks to Dara for all of that. Chicago PMI there, we just had that down 39.5, so a little lower there on Chicago PMI. All right, so we're going to have to wait to see now what's going on. We're $1 in on NVIDIA. I did take basically 5% of a position here on Apple just because I want to test pretty much every dollar level. I'm also going to try 241 as well. I just, it's getting flushed. I can obviously see that. There's been no green candles really. There's like 3 of them. So far here today. So the the selling pressure is definitely here. At some point, I do think this reverses a little bit, and we can try to catch a little bit of a bounce back up here. I mean, if we could take $2 on this, that'd be pretty good, up to 244 and change. So let's go. I mean, our first little level here to take something out, we'll try to take out like maybe 20% or so if we can up here in the 70s. But yeah, every hit on this, every move up just keeps on getting hit. Meta, we had some questions about Meta today. Look at that, man, $700 right there again. So a huge move up for Meta. I mean, everything pretty much in Techland is working today, besides Apple, so that's good. Starbucks, not good, but Starbucks, right, good for everything else. Starbucks 110 I was looking at today. That did not break. That actually fell into 108, so that could be another good dip buy opportunity there for Starbucks if that happens again. You've already nailed Google there. The other play that we had, SMR, we're still in, so you can see that's a flat trade right now. And then that's not even moving, SMR. I mean, it's up and down 30 cents, but we need a little bit more action on that. And then there's Alibaba. Oh, no. What am I bidding on Alibaba? I'm bidding 25s. That came into 55s. So we missed the Alibaba run there a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, right now, Apple, NVIDIA, and SMR, and it's what we're going on. Neil short GM, the only short, I guess, that we have right now.
Yeah, probably should be. Well, it is what it is. You could have been short Walgreens. Sorry, muted myself to sneeze. We should have been short Walgreens, but it didn't really give you a clean entry point. So Apple has just closed above the trend line right in here, broke the top. Stop is at the previous low. I'm just going to move it underneath.
Oh, Apple.
Just going to move it underneath 242. Let's see if we can get back into VWAP on this play. Remember, that 45 zone is now VWAP. So every even dollar up to there, I think you can maybe count on that to be a bit of resistance on Apple. We're into Alphabet. This did not get to VWAP, but it held a higher low. So there's your pullback kind of to VWAP, and then there's your higher low on Google. So we're taking that one back into the upside. Remember, every single top, it's a blue sky setup. There's no resistance in here on Google whatsoever. So it's just going to be these highs of the day and then every even dollar. So Apple back into it after a bit of a mean revert. Let's look for VWAP there. And GM's still not. I mean, it's gone 20 cents in the money. It's gone 10 cents out of the money. Not a lot of movement in GM. If it does something spectacular, we'll let you know. Other note, 413, the new high on Tesla. That is flying like an absolute rock. But let's go Apple. Finally a good turn on Apple.
Yeah, there it is, man. $1 now winner on Apple as it goes right back up to the upside. And hey, man, we are here. We punched more shares there at 243, which is why you're going to see a completely different price for me. But here we go back up to the upside. We're now long at 243, the price that we punched long. So if we can get some upside movement here on Apple, then we can wipe away that nightmarish start there. Well, it wasn't a nightmare, but that start there on Apple. So, hey, look, man, we bought that dip at 242, then we bang it through at 243, and there it is, man. Props up to anybody that is here trading with Apple. And there it goes, nicely done to the upside, making some money back there on AAPL. We're losing some money, though, on SMR. That's getting close to being stopped out here in around $24. Might be worth taking a little bit of a shot again here on SMR just at this level. We'll try it, and then we'll see what winds up happening if it does hold $24. We're in it right now to get a better average price so we can get back up here. Right now, there it goes as it breaks. Long SMR, I thought we could get back to this place. It does not happen. It breaks. That might be a false break there. I'm not even sure it did break 24. But anyways, at the end of the day, it is a downside play there for SMR. And there it goes, nicely cooking to the downside as Apple retraces back as well. So all these plays, man, get out when you can there on some of these longs, because today, at least on Apple and on NVIDIA, it's not really singing that well. But I'm sure most of you got out again up there at 125. I mean, that was pretty clear as day there if you have shares to sort of get some out. We're going to do it again if we can at 124.50.
Yeah, it looks like it's holding up pretty decently. Just quickly, the GM broke VWAP, but NASDAQ just came back underneath the overnight high, just very, very briefly there, and now we're holding underneath. So just watch out. You get a bit of a top-end break on the Qs, and you have to be careful with those longs, especially the ones that have been under a little bit of pressure. So GM just broke VWAP, didn't actually get that add, so we didn't get to add to it up at like 50.80. We'll see if we can still pull a lower high here on General Motors. And then here comes, so Apple came right back into trend and managed to hold the prior bar high. So you go from stop there to stop here. If we can't make it to VWAP, if we break where the trend broke in, then I'm getting out. That's the rule for this mean revert for me. Let's go to Adara.
Trading here a little bit more about that reported meeting between Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, and President Donald Trump. So this is reported by the Financial Times. It's not been confirmed. It's apparently according to a source familiar with the matter. So it's just a report. This meeting would take place today if it is taking place. So keep an eye on NVDA for sure here. And apparently the meeting was actually planned before the DeepSeek move and that large drop in NVIDIA stock on Monday. So apparently this previously planned meeting set to take place today between Jensen Huang and Donald Trump. Though again, this is not confirmed. Just a report from the Financial Times, guys.
Thank you for that. We're still fine with our NVIDIA. We did buy back SMR, so we just got basically... We play this on false breakouts. I mean, we talk, there we go, we get another 30 fill. Okay, here we go, SMR, let's go. This is the play that we tried to make the first time, but it did like break us there. So whoever did that, thank you so much for getting me stopped out there, just joking. But there it goes to the upside. you know, that's what happens sometimes. We expose ourselves here to everybody in the market, and sometimes, you know, stocks will get run, and I don't know, but that's just happened there. We bought it right back up, and there goes SMR. So we're still here and taking that trade. So SMR, a good one there. Apple, again, we emptied out the clip a little bit there, and just as I said, I don't know if you got anything out on the upside, Neil, but that was a perfect trade up there at 125. So hopefully it can get back into that range, and we'll be able to cash some more out. But for right now, Apple, I'm only taking this until we break a little bit lower on this name. I mean, here's a 5-minute chart for Apple, so you're coming into the 200 period moving average. But it's not just that, it's this top that I'm worried about, this 240. So let's wait to see what winds up happening there with Apple in and around 240. AAPL, been a bleed, man, been a bleed. But SMR right now is 50 cents in the money.
It's just one more note there, and thank you very much, Mr. Modsy in the chat for pointing this one out. Palantir 84.
Oh, geez.
And I looked down at my notes. I'm like, did I have Palantir down here? No, I like the 78 long, but I think that's from yesterday, so that's completely irrelevant today. No,
Thanks for pointing
Palantir.
that out.
No, this is what I love about the chat, man. This is what it's all about. You guys are yelling about Google. We remembered Google or Alphabet. We got on over to it. You guys yell about Tesla. We'll pull that one up. Palantir here. It is a local high for everybody. It's hilarious that since it got added to the NASDAQ, our charts don't do the flip over, but it's double bottomed since being added and now moved over, and now double topped. So round trip 63 to 85, a second time in here. So Apple is holding on nicely. We did take profit out, trying to hold this higher low. It looks like it has a chance to do so. Then we could add back in and play the long again. Alphabet is now at another all-time high.
Yes,
we just really just missed that dip by.
Go SMR.
And now you're headed to 205 here on Apple. Looks like we're going to get there. We'll trend in, trend out, and keep buying the dips on Google. NVIDIA's been chill this entire time, but if we fail 205 or 125 again, going to have to take this one out. No, Apple just lost a bid.
Oh,
no.
Man, yep.
Yeah, Apple just lost a bid again. So waited for the mean revert. It got first $0.50, and then it got the buck, and now it's losing one more time on Apple. I always like to leave these trend lines in. If it breaks the low and then holds the bottom of the trend, I like that for a bounce zone as well on Apple. But a bit of a fail. You know, probably should have prioritized Google off the open and things would be very much different. But prioritized Apple, so it is what it is. It's going to be red on Apple. Look to see if we can make it back on Google. And Tesla, another high on Tesla. That stock is gone.
Yeah, great trade there on Google for sure. But look what's happening on SMR. Let's go, SMR, man. You are the chosen one today, my guy. Right there, SMR. Even though we lost right there, SMR will be P&L number 1 on the show. Even though we lost 50 cents. So we bought it back in there. We comes right back to the upside right now as SMR is approaching that dollar club. And yeah, you heard it right, man. It's higher up right now than NVIDIA. Every single trade so far today, P&L wise, there it is for SMR. The best trade, I think, was that Google long. That's a great trade there over there for Mr. Roberts. All right, so we are still $1 in the money on NVIDIA. I mean, you know, I'm giving credit to Neil for that trade, but I think this $2 winner right there on NVIDIA off that news was probably like the best pure play, just because it was like news-based. We hit it live. You guys could see all that. There was opportunities to get back in. And again, this is the benefit, one more time. So now NVIDIA, with this move up, has overtaken SMR. Right now. So we'll see what winds up happening now with NVIDIA, but up to 125 and change, man. We have I still can't believe, like, we had gone in and out of Rigetti. We bought Rigetti at 6, sold it at 9 in one day. And that was off of this right here. Oh, my God. Now it's up to 13 and change as it still keeps on running. Hey, man, we're right back into the pocket right now with that dollar club here on NVIDIA. We just took 90 or 80 cents, sorry, on SMR. But SMR is trying to pull back a little bit? Yeah, let's put something here. Again, we'll put another 5% at 75. You just saw me put it there. We'll see if it comes through. Now, there it is. We get filled on that. So, yeah, we just wait for Apple, which is obviously fallen back in. We have one red stock today. It's going to be Apple. And yeah, it's coming to this 241.50 area that I want to kind of buy 241s, but it's a disaster, needless to say, today for Apple. And also a very big disaster for Intel, as Intel just broke that bottom.
Oh, it broke 20?
Oh, yeah, it went to 1960 on a clean breaker right there. So, yeah, that was a good one. All right, I mean, oh, well. I'm not buying Apple till 241. I mean, I really want to just wait. We were able to get out of some of that. We're not in very many shares. Like I said, you don't you don't have this week and then just absolutely think, you know, you're on top of the world and then just absolutely get hammered. You can give everything back. So that ain't happening on this side, that's for sure. And we're just going to wait to see what's going to go on with Apple. But again, when you trade bigger share sizes, you know, you have to be a little more specific. And that's the one thing that I'm learning. Before, I would just kind of layer into these things. And then when it doesn't work, you get whooshed out and you can give back everything in one trade. That's not at all what we're doing. But when you do put on shares, there is possibilities to take L's, right? So we'll wait to see what happens here. I'm buying some more down here at 241 flat on Apple.
And thank you very much for Profit for the super chat. We've had a great run today with very generous viewers. Just make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, and keep posting in the chat suggestions of stocks and things that are moving, because I'll tell you right now, you can't always get everything. And what's Addis also in the chat? BlackRock boosted Rigetti. So RGTI making a power move into the upside. All right, so you saw me there. I was getting a trail in when we failed to get to 205, and then just grabbed out. I'm going to go back to VWAP on Google here. So stair step to the upside. Let's see if we can take the next step. Nvidia is looking fine, and we're getting very, very close on. There's Apple. It hasn't really broken that bottom. If it breaks that bottom, looking for the bottom end of that same trend line that we're trading off of before. Nvidia, we want that 125. We'll see where it can go. It's looking very strong, but I did want to jump on over to, we saw Intel breaking down and looking nasty and all that good stuff. It's not just them. AMD, red, under VWAP, down 0.5%. Now, this stock has been doing the same thing NVIDIA's been doing the last couple of days. You've got support here at 116.5. So I'll be looking for maybe a mean reversion if we drop another $1 here on AMD, because at some point, maybe even NVIDIA is going to be able to drag it into the upside. Here it is. We need to break this 125, and then we have room right into 126 on NVIDIA. That one's working just fine.
Oh, NVIDIA. We just punched longer again now on NVIDIA. We are starting to work, man. Good call out there, Neil, for NVIDIA. But this is starting to rock and roll one more time on NVDA. We just punched long there at 125. I liked that long take. So we get aggressive with it right now on NVIDIA. And, of course, you guys know if we're in this, we are in this with some shares, Neil. Bang, bang, bang. It's a face slapper. There it goes for NVIDIA as we making it all back right here, baby. Nice little trade there as we play with the king. The #1 trade all week has been NVIDIA, man. It's been my P&L 1, 2, 3, 4 every single day. And now here we go again, Neil. This is the #1 P&L name now for the show. Thank you so much for that one, NVIDIA. Good trade, Neil. We've got this one. We've been adding, man. We added again there at 125. A confident trader adds at key levels if you like them. Don't be afraid to do that. That's one thing that I have learned for sure in the last little while is get into trades, stay with them, pick up the winners, and let them ride. Because, Neil, you never know what's about to happen, baby. Because there it goes right now for NVIDIA. It's basically a $2 winner right now, but we've been adding to it. So let's go upside right now with NVIDIA. Big time trading here. And then Apple, too, trying to find itself. We were really, man, like I was waiting at 241.05, but we took a little bit there at 80s or 90s. We're going to see if Apple can get off the schneid a little bit there as well. And then SMR, nice little fade, but we had gotten it out. SMR PL2, no longer #1. That sits here with NVDA. For everybody watching, please like the stream, subscribe, share it, and all of that. We are here every single day until we're forced to take vacation. Adira at the desk.
This is just a beautiful look here for the NASDAQ on the day. And if you go back here, this is the 15-minute chart. We really have this uptrend starting with the lows that we made here. I guess Monday pre-market, we have this beautiful push to the upside for the NASDAQ to end the first month of 2025. Apple here certainly on watch there with that earnings. In terms of non-earnings moves, though, we did have some PCE data coming in exactly in line with expectations this morning, probably aiding the market here as well, especially after we got no rate changes. Then we have Intel on watch as well. INTC is the other earnings play, big earnings play from last night alongside Apple. They did beat here on earnings per share and on revenue, but they provided lower than expected guidance across the board. So INTC on watch. Another earnings name here that's pretty weak is Deckers, DECK. And then we also have AbbVie. So there's a couple different earnings plays from this morning and last night. to be aware of here. I also just saw this report coming through. I'm unclear. I need to find out more details, but this is just circulating on social media now. Apparently on January 30th, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, apparently presented some new agentic technology that's going to be coming Q1 2025. And reportedly, this technology can actually independently complete tasks in the real world. So keep an eye on this here in any of these AI plays. We know that there's been some worries about AI competition after the DeepSeek really blew up over the weekend, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Neil. Go crazy there.
So second time here, Apple did it again. All you have to do is wait for the green candle, man. It broke trend a second time. It was the second time it did it, and it did it pretty cleanly. Broke the new trend line, and now you got up to 243. Now remember, it bounced like $1, $1.25, $1.50 the first time. The second time, looking for taking profit in the same range, and then play it into VWAP. Like this is just one of those. It's trending down. Wait for your spot, have an execution plan, and you'll be good to go.
Exactly right.
Google's still pretty much exactly where it is. Obviously, you know that NVIDIA's flying to the upside. And just don't want to ignore Tesla here, guys.
Just a little
I
bit.
see what's happening. Tesla up 417. This one's another rocket ship. You can't play everywhere, but Google going, NVIDIA going, now Apple going, Tesla going, the market's going, everything is going. Palantir is also going crazy. Nasdaq's now up 1 1/3%. There's no free fall Friday today, I can tell you that.
There pretty much never is. You know what?
Unless you're Intel.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, sometimes we celebrate our wins and we get in trouble by the chat. Other times we don't. Right there it goes, man. NVIDIA, Neil, this is what we're talking about. It's not just picking up these prices. It's breaking these highs. There it goes. It's a huge, absolutely. Thank you so much, Fabian. I'll go next time, okay? Don't even worry about that. Nice move upside. NVIDIA, right now, we just bought this, Neil, 3 minutes ago, and it welcomed to... no, not that one. The Dollar Club right there as it just continues to, oh boy, go, and go. So, yeah. We've made it all back. Everything that we lost on Apple is now back. Huge move to the upside right now in this market. And again, we're happy to be here with everybody, enjoying one more time everything that we do right here. So like and subscribe. Thank you so much to Russell Jack. Oh, geez, Neil. What exactly is going on? This might be my biggest NVIDIA trade of the week. And it was P&L number 1 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Neil, right now, I don't know what P&L number 1 for you is, but this is an absolute monster. This is probably the biggest P&L trade of the month here on the show live. It's NVIDIA. It's buying these dips. It's buying the breakout 125. It's believing in it, and there it goes. We talk about this. Success begets more success. You have to be confident in what you're doing. And oh my, the week that was continues right now on Trader TV Live, man. We've sort of stepped away a little bit from Apple. We're really focusing on NVIDIA. We focused on SMR. Those are the two trades, but we are still red on Apple. There's no doubt about that. But, NVIDIA and everybody else has been going pretty crazy there. So there it goes again, man. Oh boy, we're really happy with the performance today of these markets. I mean, how can't you be? The NASDAQ is going to be approaching all-time highs momentarily here.
That's exactly true. Going to be approaching those all-time highs. So I just got the top target here on NVIDIA for myself. I'm still in gym. We'll get to that a little bit later. But we're good to go. Because if you're a skilled trader, finding opportunities like these in NVIDIA, or hey, maybe you're doing Tesla, maybe you're doing Google, and you're lacking capital, then prop firms offer you the opportunity to trade with simulated funds, firm capital, allowing you to showcase your skills. Access account sizes ranging from 5 to 500K, and you can start with as little as 20 bucks. With over 500 prop firms out there, how do you find out which are the best? That's where Prop Firm Match steps in. Prop Firm Match is your go-to platform for finding and comparing only the most esteemed firms with proven track records and consistent long-term payment histories. Access over 4,500 verified reviews, explore payout histories, and discover the best current deals all in one place. Scan the QR code or visit propfirmmatch.com today and find the perfect prop firm for you. Shout out to Prop Firm Match. So NVIDIA just got down to, all right, so it broke this local high here, kind of tried to tag 27, and that got me out on target. Sometimes it bounces off prior highs. That's all the way at the 125 level. That's a little bit deep. And then VWAP's like completely far gone or foregone here. Apple, just to give you a quick little update, I'm going to cancel the dip buy. Like Apple could not break. It did the same thing. Broke trend and then couldn't go more than that $1.25, $1.50. Same thing a second time through. I'm moving my stop to prior bar high because it's trending down, just to make sure we don't lose on the last bit of the trade here. So it's a break-even stop now on Apple. Found a couple of places to get it in at a good price, but if there's no follow-through, I'm not going to fight this one forever. We're able to get it back to go green. It's still red on Apple. Why? Because 2 shots without a good execution plan and 2 with a good doesn't always end up the best. Let's go over to Adara.
Come to me. Oh, sorry. We have a little bit of a drop here in the NASDAQ, but we have some comments coming in from Feds Goolsby that are actually kind of dovish. He was not scheduled to speak today that I saw, but he's being interviewed by CNBC, so that seems to explain his presence here. Basically said he's liking today's inflation data, which was a little better than expected. He also said that he has comfort that they're on the path to 2% inflation. So a lot of this just echoing comments we already hear, but Goolsby's been a little bit more dovish as of late. I would say these comments reflect that dovishness. He did also say, though, that policies uncertainties with regards to Donald Trump could impact prices. So be aware of that. We've had the Fed talking a lot about how these uncertainties with regards to Donald Trump's economic policies could be impacting some things with regards to inflation. So nothing really new, but just be aware he is speaking. And if I see anything else, I'll let you guys know.
Thank you so much for that one. All right, I'm going to put my stop here. We've already talked about where we want to do about with NVIDIA. It's going to be like a break basically of 123. So 122, like 89 or so. We're going to hold on to this one. We don't have that many shares on this name right now, so we're just going to have to wait to buy some more. We just cashed out. I mean, you guys say like we're getting excited. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're doing. Getting excited when we got these plays. So up to 126.60, cash that thing out. Now some more. Like look at all these outs at 126. We talked about getting that dollar right away almost immediately. So they're cashing out. And if you don't cash out of your winners, they're not winners. So we're going to have to wait to see what happens there with NVDA, of course. All right, Alibaba falls right into our lap. We'll see if this wants to hold. My stop on this one, again, it's just 100 break, so 99.75 again will be the stop on that one, and it just fell right into our pocket. So this is what we talked about. There's Alibaba. We liked it at 100 bucks. So if it comes in, great. Well, it did come in, but if it gets down, that's fine. We're very, very comfortable with that. That level right here is 50. So far so good on this one. As Alibaba looks like we might have, for now, okay. Wow, Neil. For now, we might have grabbed the bottom there on Alibaba. There it is right there. You want a bang rich soda? You got one right there. You got that, you got that, you got that. And then there's Ozan as well if you're in the building one more time. And then there's my guy right now. Boom, boom. It is Rahim Alani is in the building, man.
Bro.
Hey, Rahim, we've had the best week since Trader TV Live's inception here trading. And now you made it even better, my friend.
Came here to cap off the week. It's
Nice
guys, and make sure everyone hasn't spent all their money in one place.
Opinion on tariffs, metals?
Actually, that's a good question.
Thank you.
With some important American guys yesterday, so it's gonna be really interesting. What happens tonight? This is the gamble of all gambles happening tonight. If you like oil,
Yeah.
which way are you gonna go? Are you gonna buy the oil stocks? Are they gonna dip? Is Trump gonna do it? I don't know. Snack makers are all looking at setting up operations down there. Cookie companies, biscuit companies, because they don't want to pay the tariffs.
Right.
Is he gonna back down on those? Is he gonna back down on oil? Find out.
You got any cookie companies you're recommending
Any
over
cookie? I do not. But oil and gas companies, do your research. Do your research on the oil and gas companies. And this is literally the coin flips right here.
People
Live, I have a question. I have a Canadian stock I want you to research.
Yes.
It's a Neptune Digital Assets Corp. If you can
Yeah,
find
Raheem,
some-
do more work for us.
No,
Immediately.
I was gonna email you actually because I had a conversation with my physio guy. They basically hold a bunch of tokens. They're also invested through a third party in SpaceX. I don't know much about them. They've been flying to the upside, and he asked me to research, and I was like, I'm gonna ask Raheem.
Find out on Wednesday when I'm here.
All right, there it is. Thank you, Neil, for that ask.
Something in TV terms.
There you go.
All right, here we go, guys. Thank you, Raheem. Always a pleasure, man. We love seeing Rahim Alani right back in here. And you know what else we love as well? Big time wins. And there it is again, another one for Alibaba here today. SMR check, right? NVIDIA, the biggest right there today. So that's 2 for 2. Alibaba, Neil, bang, monster trade there off the $100 mark. And then Apple. Bang. So far, the only red name that we have here today is going to be Apple. Always great to see our good friend Raheem Alani. Thanks for stepping by. But there it is, man. Alibaba, Neil, just like that. In, again, another, what was it? We just saw Raheem. So this was in 3 minutes. We make 90 cents. So, or sorry, it goes up to 190. We are long at $100.25. So on that note, let's get out of a little bit more up here if we can on Alibaba. See, this is the bounce that I thought Apple could hit when it went lower there, but it did not. So that's the problem there. We punched out some little bit there on Alibaba as we'll wait for Apple. But what a fantastic day so far here, guys.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I guess I'll be the same because it's Apple's red for me too. So I'm 3 for 4 as well. It's like it wasn't Apple's days, no question about it. You can look back and say should have been Palantir, should have been Tesla, maybe Meta as well, looking very strong. But next opportunity, Google's back on trend line. So once, twice, and thrice. Bounce off of this trend. It's randomly 204.20. You cannot make that stuff up where the support is. So once again, 420 holds true. It needs to hold on to the trend. I think sometimes when you get into VWAP, when it's broke trend, it's not necessarily the entry I like. So if it can close on trend, we're going to grab it. I am still in that GM trade to the short side. It's about 20 cents in the money. I think we got maybe as much as 30, 35 cents, but never got the reload on that. So it looks like Google just did a bit of a dip and dive. This local bottom is 204.11. We'll get out underneath that. If it breaks the trend line and holds underneath, we can wait for VWAP. We can wait for maybe even a 203 level here in Alphabet. Strong day. Every high is an all-time high in 205 current resistance. Technically, it looks like it broke it by a couple of cents. So we've been above 205 already, actually.
Yeah, I love that Google stock. Like I said, I think Meta overtook Google in my portfolio. Obviously, with NVIDIA's come down in. Palantir is still huge in my portfolio, of course. You know, we talked about this. Palantir is up 400% since August. Yeah, so since August. It was January. So 400% on Palantir since August. Yeah, I mean, up 3.5%. I have sold absolutely none of this stock in the last 6 months or so. So this has been an absolute game changer for the portfolio. That is for sure. Palantir will be my favorite stock probably until I die, honestly. I mean, this has been a game changer. I've never hit a trade or anything like this, like what we did on Palantir. So it's really like, it's been an amazing opportunity, and that's just what happens. And you talk about doing research and stuff like that. This is like, you know, this hat was given to me by Prad probably 4 years ago at least. Okay, and what does this say? Palantir investor. So I mean, you know, it's not something where we'll tell you, oh, we bought this, and it goes up, and then we tell you we bought it. I mean, I've been buying this thing since its direct list at 9 and change, which was, I think it was 9.20. It actually, well, now we're getting here. We got to go to a weekly chart. It just goes to show you there's going to be some IPOs. And look, a lot of you guys have tons of winners as well, right? There's Reddit is an absolute monster off of some of those levels. Please do not look at Rivian or anything like that. But some of these names, there it is right there, I think it was 9.20 though. But anyways, $9 all the way to the upside. It got sort of caught up in all that meme craziness during COVID and whatnot, gets to 40, then gets absolutely hit down as many valuations. Check Carvana, check all of those plays, actually start to get to the low side. Then it's right there. You break the 50 period on the weekly, man. That was at $8. So back in March of 2020, sorry, the 5th month, yeah, so okay, right there, May of 2023, it was $8. It's now a 10-bagger off of that level up to $84. So yeah, really making them sing there is Palantir. And even today, man, up to the upside, taking out all-time highs. I mean, that's just been really a game changer. And I say that, and we've been buying NVIDIA for 20 years. So, I mean, it's just a matter of watch. You know what? I actually, in my portfolio look, I actually realized for some reason I'm up 80% on AMD. I don't have that much money in there. I have no idea where I even bought this stock. I mean, I can't, what was I up, or what were we all up when this name was at 230 or whatever?
I'd rather not think about that.
Yeah, me too. But I didn't even realize I was in AMD, so I'm glad I did some portfolio relocation or look yesterday. We did buy some dips there into Apple, so that right now is 40 cents. But at the end of the day, we'll figure it out. There it is, D-Loaf, man. You're long as well on Palantir. Congratulations. I mean, it's been an absolute rocket to that upside. It's been a huge difference maker for the account and my family. So thanks everybody for the support and keep buying Palantir, basically. I like the stock, and I'm not in it right now, but we've liked it for a long time. Was that Adara? All right.
So.
We have more stuff here coming through with Fed's Goolsbee. Now these comments are getting a little bit more cautious, basically saying here that he agrees with the sentiment that they're really in no rush here to adjust the rates. And one thing, too, that he kind of said was that there are some uncertainties with regards to Donald Trump's policy, saying that because of these uncertainties, there might be some muddy signals here for the Fed, saying that, however, a one-time tariff increase is in theory more transitory, so they might not need a policy response. But regardless, the fact that there is this uncertainty with regards to what Donald Trump will do could lead to a little bit of questions for the Fed here as well. So some more cautious comments coming in here from Fed's Goolsbee, who, again, just as a reminder, started really off his speech by saying that he was comfortable with the PCE reading we got today, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Maybe don't think, we'll see. Like, I don't think those comments have anything to do with anything. Market's actually trending higher. We're going to get to the NASDAQ in a quick second, but in on trend, we did not hold the trend line. I'm not reversing short because yesterday I didn't reverse short on Meta, but it was a different story. Meta was making lower highs at that moment. I think it was a better play to have done it yesterday, but not today, just because of a trend line break on Alphabet. We'll see if it can hold back above. I can wait for, I said if it lost the trend here, tight stop, wait for either VWAP or the old 3 level to get back in. Where are you? Okay, Apple, we're still looking for pretty much the same thing, but you're not getting as big of a drop down as before, right? So the last couple times you had big drops down, clear, decisive trends, all red candles on the 3-minute, then you had a trend break. That's not happening anymore. So it's not really falling all over itself. We got to look maybe more of a support and resistance idea. So you have a double bottom in here. Maybe you can like wick or hold that double bottom, and that would be the next shot. I just heard in my ear, and I've seen a few people say it. I know Rigetti's going. SMCI is powering as well. Just broke out some fresh highs on SMCI. So you have another powerhouse going through the 30 level, big one on SMCI if you can get there. So just want to throw that one out to you. I'm still eyeballing Google for re-entry. I guess we're not going to get VWAP on NVIDIA, so might go a little bit higher. Obviously, VWAP down here to 124.5. The 125 holding up. So if it's not going to get to VWAP, then we'll play it where it likes to bounce. Right now, that's at the 125 level for NVIDIA. So good luck, everybody. That Rigetti is going absolutely nuts. Haven't checked any other quantum names. Got to try to stay focused on NVIDIA and Google on the way upside here. Adara again? Adara? Yes?
Time here for the small cap recap. The IWM finding nice support here in the 3-minute around that 228.30s level. There's a couple small caps to talk about here, including this CYCN, that Cyclerion Therapeutics. They've run in the past. They have a very small float, about 1.23 million shares. Definitely pulling back a little bit here right now. No news that I could find on this. We also have PLBY, which is Playboy Group, basically announcing here they're at day's highs. Apparently, they've converted these 28,000 Series B stocks into 3.7 million shares of the company's common stock. Basically just kind of doing a stock conversion here for PLBY. And then we have LVO. This is Live One. This is actually a pretty interesting announcement, announcing that they're going to be presenting a business update at Mar-a-Lago here today. So again, Trump will not be at Mar-a-Lago. He is, of course, at the White House currently because he is the president. But apparently they will be presenting at Mar-a-Lago, which we know has been pretty good association there for businesses. To keep an eye here on LVO. And then again, of course, the other one's CYCN. And we had our friend PLBY as well there. Also, there were some comments coming from Fed's Goolsbee. I would keep an eye on the auto sector here, basically saying that some auto executives are concerned about the impact of tariffs, which we kind of saw in the reaction to the tariff announcement yesterday, guys. Back to you.
We come back in. Thank you, Adara, for all of that. Here we come back in on Apple. So we're going to buy the dip on Apple. It's been a little bit of a horrendous day as Apple started up 4%, now only up 1.65%. But we're here, baby. We just bought that dip, and there goes Apple right now. Nicely done to the upside. We just bought some 30s. It just rips up into the 80s, so maybe we'll take a little bit of profit right there. Look, you got to take profit when it lies, right? Because look what's happening to Alibaba. It goes all the way up, then all the way down. So we are now out of, and just to tell you, oh, okay, we don't have too many shares left of this one. We have about 20% left on Alibaba as we got out on that way up. All right, Apple. Again, it's only profitable when you take the profits. And right now, my latest out is 242.20 there for AAPL. So, I mean, I know Neil's only in one position, but we're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually have a brand new position right now. It's brand newbie in for you. It is Intel. So here we go again, man. We are long everything. If you can't tell we're bulled up, well, we are. Now we'll wait to see what happens with Intel. A break back through $20. We have the support of VWAP. We have the support of the 50-period moving average. We're just stone cold chilling right now. We've got 6 positions on, Neil. This is how you manage it. Oh, we have another one as well right here. Roblox just comes into the building one more time as well. I like this trade. Oh, wow, this one's going to be a little bit in the money here. If we can get something out near 71 on Roblox trying to hold the bottom, oh, man, I better get some offers out here because if this market turns, we're stuck 6 long right now on everything. But hey.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean, 99 problems, Neil. You know trading ain't one. And there it goes, man. Nice move to the upside. 24.80 on SMR. So, hey, man, if you want more names, you probably got to look to Neil. I'm already in 6 positions right now, and we are smoking right here on NVIDIA, man. We really, this has been, again, a game changer for us trading NVIDIA since the split. This is by far the #1 P&L name for Trader TV Live across all shows since this thing has split. So it is NVDA.
Yeah, I see you in the chat there, Russell Jackson. Keep it up. We love you, brother.
What's up,
Russell? More gifts, more super chats as well. It says, we want Gary, a.k.a. Brendo. Brendo hard at work as always. But shout out to On the Desk Adara getting us that news. I'm back into NVIDIA on trend. It did the same thing last time, bounced 125, bounced 124, 125.4. So again, hold the trend line, play to the upside, break it, wait for VWAP. GM's doing GM things. I said I wanted to wait for Apple to either break the low and go on trend or wick the low and then hold. So there's your wick of the low of the day. Now all it has to do is break the prior bar high. So it needs to break the 242 to the upside. So that's the entry I'm looking for. Before it was trend reversions. Then I said I wanted a wick bottom. If it can do that, a bit of a rejection candle, but it needs to take out that 242 and break the prior high of that candle. So I'm going to make sure I get a stop order in because I thought I did and I actually didn't. So let me just throw that stop order in. So if we break that prior bar high I'm in, it looks like it doesn't even want to do it. So that was the condition we wanted. Come on, NVIDIA. It's trying to hold on to that trend line by an absolute hair. And where are you? AMD. AMD's holding VWAP as well. So kind of might have missed an opportunity to get into AMD off VWAP, but we like NVIDIA. Google is not at VWAP either. That's another one I'm looking to pick up if we can dip a little bit further to get back into some Google. But let's go on over to my left to take care of some business.
Yeah, we're trying to buy some more Intel here as well. But if you are interested in doing everything with Real Trading, you have your opportunity right now to join Real Trading Campus. It's open to Canadian residents only. This program is designed to teach participants how to become real traders. Market, the microstructure of the market, as Neil and I always talk about, fees, bids, offers, order types, stop orders, bracket orders, market on close orders, anything you need. Also, this focus this time around will be on U.S. equities, very similar to what we trade around here, obviously. Carefully selected stock lists for you. So they're curated, expanded symbol availability now for this program. Make sure you want to trade real money and gain real experience with Real Trading, the prop floor that I have been on for over 20 years. All right, thank you so much for that one. It is a cash cow kind of a day right now on SMR, everybody, because SMR going right up to 24.93. And oh boy, this was a great trade for us until it got stopped out there. Do not look at the trades. Please just focus on whatever this is. This is what other places do. Bang right there as SMR right there to the upside. Get out of my way, sticky note. There goes SMR through $25, Neil. This is another one. This is the big banger for you on the day. Look, man, they're here. They're great. They're glorious. They are the longs. We'll just see if they continue that way. The only name that is not doing that, of course, is AAPL. And there it goes, dropping right back into 241. These are kind of the levels that we were worried about. But guess what? we're there now. We were able to get some out on Apple. We got that out too. We got that out. So we've been dip buying this name. I don't necessarily love it. Thankfully, we have Roblox. SMR is $1 in the money. NVIDIA is $1 in the money. Intel, we took a little bit of a breakout trade. We'll talk about that in a minute. But right now, we got to address Apple. That's at 40 right there, 240. So what are we long at? 241.50. We don't have a heck of a lot of shares, but still a losing trade is a losing trade right now for Apple. And when I say that, remember, you got to be careful because everybody here trades with many different share sizes. Some positions of mine will be 50, 30, 60 times share sizes. So you got to be very, very careful here, even more than that sometimes. So watch out for Apple. We're getting into that level now. We're getting a little uncomfortable because there's been no rebound at all in this name. And honestly, waiting for 240, that's going to be it. Once we break it, even if it rebounds back up, I'm probably going to stay away from it. I feel like a little bit tricky here with Apple and don't necessarily want to be in this name. So, yeah, it's fooled me once, twice, and it looks like this last time it's going to be the end. So the nail in the coffin here for Apple if it does break below that 240. And then there's Intel. We did get a reload. So now we have a comfortable position on Intel, a decent amount of shares. Our average price right now is $19.90 right there. So if it breaks below here, 75, we're out. So that's it, man. We have some good positions that we have right now. Not as many shares in Roblox or NVIDIA or SMR because we've been getting out of them. And speak of the devil, SMR right now, that dollar. NVIDIA just continues to rip higher as well. And there it goes, man. NVDA, just the king of the castle, continues to be that.
It is absolutely the king. Although you could make an argument that Rigetti's doing pretty well. So shout out to everybody. Rigetti now up 17%. It's now gone so parabolic. I'm going to have this trend just to see if it ever breaks it. Two things just happened. One, Alphabet finally got to VWAP. It only took forever and a day for it to get up, for it to get down there, I suppose. We're going to look for a bounce right back up. This has been up 1.5%. It made fresh all-time high, but stalled out at 205. NVIDIA held its trend line, bounced. So every time it makes a new candle, break the trend, prior bar low is going to be our trail, and then see if we can get back into the high of the day on NVIDIA. So reload on Google at VWAP, back in NVIDIA on trend, and all of a sudden, Rigetti, actually, yeah, if I want to make a reversion here, I have to pay for locates. Let's go to Adara. Locates are not free, but they'll be like half of 1 cent.
Yeah, not too expensive.
Like that. So I got to go ahead and do that. Let's go to Adara again.
Here's the deal with Rigetti. So basically, apparently 13F filings showed that BlackRock did purchase 538,966 shares of Rigetti in Q3. So this is, again, not new, but I think this just got, Benzinga just published this today, so I think that's worth noting. BlackRock heavily involved in this name, and for context, the shares they purchased by the end of Q3 were worth $7.39 million at the time. At the time. So since then, Rigetti's had that massive run up with Quantum, so just be aware here. BlackRock apparently getting in on the ground floor a little bit here with RGTI, and again, this just being circulated now on Benzinga, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, no Rigetti, no problem when you have SMR. You know, I mean, SMR is still at $1.30 now in the money, but at the end of the day, you can always trade other names. And I mean, I know that recently we've both really switched over to the Mag 7. But yeah, Rigetti there continues to go higher, man. Nice play to that upside there for RGTI. That is for sure. So yeah, good level there. I still feel bad that I'm not in that name still, but it is what it is on RGTI. NVIDIA continues to go higher, of course. There goes Alibaba. Yeah, to the down. Oh no, we lost Alibaba before. Okay, so Alibaba, I just noticed we got out of that. So Alibaba with the fail. Hey, still a positive stock. And I mean, that's why we talk about making sure that you do take some profit. So Alibaba is still in the pocket there for us. So we like that stock coming back in. SMR, we took profit. And then I guess it's just Intel. What's up to Ahmed in the chat? He said, I thought, when I mentioned that, I thought I wouldn't trade this name today. Yeah, man. I mean, we didn't really do a whole heck of a lot of work on Intel. We let it drop down. I thought a break of VWAP was going to be something there. We took the $20 mark. We only got 05s or well, we got 01s, I think, but that fill is 07, so it didn't really go up too much, and then we tried to buy this dip into that day's low. So, yeah, man, you might be right. This may be a nothing burger, of course, there for Alibaba, or for Intel. So we'll wait to see on that one. But right now, we're long at Apple. We're long at 241.30 right now on AAPL. So let's just see what happens now on Apple.
Yeah, and another high of the day there. It's a rocket. Ooh, I meant to hit the rocket, but whatever. The AMC thing can kind of work as well. Back to the high of the day on NVIDIA, regain on trend. It just double topped. So we got another entry for $1 there. At the same time, got Rigetti Rigetti just broke, the second I paid for the locates, it broke the trend line. It's almost like that's blind luck. If preparation would mean you pay for the locates before when you know the stock is moving like an hour ago. But we're able to get it in, broke the trend line, got some into 14, playing it back into 13.6. The stock is a rocket ship. It's a trend up. This is usually a mean reversion into VWAP, but it's already getting bought up pretty heavily. I'm now going to move stop. Now that you've broken 14, stop goes to this bar here, 14.18 on RGTI. So just be, if you're ever going to go against the grain, have a plan of action if you're going to go against the grain. Rigetti, just a nice little trend break back into said downside. We did grab Google off of VWAP, so we'll go 2 for 3 on Alphabet. We did have this one on the higher low. Then we waited for it to come into VWAP. We'll play it back into 205, just like we did NVIDIA, which is continuing to rally. I see you in the chat, TX Trader, and everybody who has been yelling about TEM, Tempest AI. This is the, what's her name again? Nancy Pelosi.
Yep.
The Nancy Pelosi stock has been absolutely running, whatever, whether you call it her stock, she just bought some stock. That's all I know. But it did just break out here on the daily, so I guess she's in the money. Watch out, $65 looks like the local resistance here on Tempest AI. So another running stock, 7.5% to the upside. You know, pick your poison. That's a pretty parabolic move up there. Nasdaq's at some fresh highs. NVIDIA's at highs. Google's trying to get to highs. Amazon is trying to get to highs, well up 1.8%. It's really just Apple today, unless there's something I'm not seeing that is also weak. Apple looking it's almost at 240 here. So it's now back on this. I'm looking for the trend reversal entry point where you now have another trend line that got set here on Apple. So something along these lines. It would have to break this trend for me to go for another long here on Apple. That's been the better way to get in for me this morning. We do have a very special guest because our crypto segment has a special enhancement today. Let's go to the desk.
We're going to be here with Crypto Update with Frank Holmes, co-founder and executive chair here of Hive Digital Technologies. How are you doing, Frank? Great to have you back on with us today.
Outstanding, and I just love listening to all that trading data.
It's always a really fun, exciting time up here, and it's definitely an exciting time for crypto and Bitcoin as well. So I want to ask you, how is the regulatory landscape that we're seeing here shaping up right now, and how is it impacting the market?
I think that the markets are going to quickly adjust, but the DeepSeek was a big wake-up call, but it was so incredibly crazy because it came out on a Monday, and usually Mondays are the best sell-off days. If you're a technical trader, that's when the RSIs all collapse, and it made NVIDIA's great buys. And the reason for that, I was shocked that chemical fell 16%. Nuclear energy fell, data centers fell, and this one little app is going to change all of that? Absolutely not. You cannot have any of these chips functioning without a data center, and the data center needs energy, and therefore nuclear energy is going to be a key element, and Canada is well positioned for the nuclear energy, and I think besides hydroelectricity, and the GPU chips at NVIDIA are going to be needed because even this DeepSeek, they use their chips in building out their chips. So what we're seeing is AI is learning from each other, and this sort of panic sell-off was politically a big wake-up call. When you have Anderson coming out and saying it was Sputnik, but most of these young analysts don't know what Sputnik was, and it was when Russia got into space before America did, and JFK announced to go to the moon. We're going to the moon like stocks in the next decade. And he mobilized all the engineers. Every kid in school wanted to become an engineer to go to the moon. And he's warning that what this technology did was that wake-up call. Even President Trump said it's a wake-up call. I myself will not use the app because all the data is going to China. I think it's just one of these other ways of China trying to steal the data. If you saw the movie Oppenheimer, how Russia stole the nuclear bomb and the energy from America, that's where they got it from. So everyone's trying to steal what that technology is, but America will adapt and adjust. So just like these tariffs are being used by President Trump to have a wake-up call, and we're very thrilled to see the inauguration that Prime Minister Trudeau and all of his World Economic Forum leaders of disaster were not invited. The president of Mexico, who was a guerrilla, basically a terrorist, is now the president, and she's a communist, not invited. President of Colombia, not invited. He's a disaster. But the president of Argentina was. And he's an Austrian economist that have turned around that country. And the president Santiago Peña, he was invited. And the president of El Salvador, he was invited because the Trump administration has a pro ecosystem. And that's what I think I'm so bullish about.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think also here in terms of things that are new, Hive had an announcement this week with regards to acquiring that site in Paraguay. So with that in mind, what do you think is driving growth right now in Bitcoin mining? And what does that mean for investors, I guess specifically for Hive as well?
I think when you look at investors is what was being thrown around, that there'd be no taxes, capital gains on crypto. And why is that important? Trump is a master of borrowing from previous successful ideas. It was President Clinton that basically ushered in the creation of a PayPal that was Elon Musk. A fortune started, and there was no tax on e-commerce because the banks in Canada are an oligopoly. They're not like they are in the U.S., where there are at least 4,000 banking system, not 5 banks dictating what everyone does. And so when you say that, well, he realized that the banks were going to stop e-commerce, and so there was no taxes, and therefore all the intellectual capital and the coders stayed in America, and venture capital win because it's highly speculative risk capital. Now the push is for the development of Web3 and the whole crypto ecosystem and tokens, because a weekend before the president, they launched a meme coin that went from 18 cents to $75. And all weekend long, everyone was trying to get a hyperlink into the Solana network, so therefore they could execute and buy some of this new meme coin. This is a buy-in. This is very important for Canada because Toronto has one of the biggest ecosystems of coders. So these are the bullish aspects, and you can find those sectors. So last week they came up with a law that allows banks to have custody. So we're very bullish.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for coming back on here.
I can't hear you.
Oh. Thank you so much for coming back on here and joining us today. That is Hive Digital Technologies, HIVE. Thank you so much, Frank Holmes, co-founder and executive chair.
So I'm going to finish about Hive. It's going to increase in the next 9 months, like having a baby. We're going to go from 100 million to 500 million in revenue. We have a key 20 employees, so it's going to look like a SaaS model technology or a gold royalty company of high revenue per employee. We have the highest revenue per employee as a company that makes us the most efficient. So this is the first time we've been able to scale. The country is pro Bitcoin mining because it helps them get US dollars every month rather than selling energy to local countries and where there's no pay or slow pay. They get their money immediately. So it's a win-win for the country. It's a win for Hive. Expanding our footprint 400% over the next 9 months.
Yeah, that sounds awesome there. Thank you so much. And again, everyone can check this out, NASDAQ HIVE. Thank you, Frank.
What's up, Frank? Frank, I mean, I still need that hat. I still need that Beehive hat. You know, I got the Palantir hat on right now, so shout out to you, Frank. And I think some good talk there about Canada, some good talk there, obviously, about BTC in the world and where we're going right now. I didn't trade any IBIT today, but up to 105.70 right here. And here's the Hive. Hive is on the NQ right here at $3.14. Still trying to barcode, trying to break outside there as well. Also available on the Venture Exchange. We want to thank Frank Holmes, co-founder and executive chair from Hive. There it is, NASDAQ, HIVE. Good volume today, man, 8 million shares. I like breakouts like this. Like, I'm not just talking about this because we had Frank on, honestly. We talked about this with Intel. If Intel breaks this top, I mean, every stock, right? You got to get above the 200, you got to get above the 50-period moving average, then blast off there. I think Hive has a chance to go at 340. And I mean, we talk about all kind of names in the crypto space as well. We have Marathon here as well, up to, down to $19, I guess. There, look at this, very, very similar chart, right? Looking to try to break back above. So there's another one with Mara. And oh boy, guys, as we went there, we went and got a water. So we say shout out to Hydration Nation. We loaded up, man. This is that bigger position now on Apple as it came right into 240. As it was written, man, we told you we were doing it. Here goes Apple, big time movement to the upside. So I'm just going to start to piece it out here in the 70s, in the 80s, get some pieces out. Then if it moons, man, we'll be back to Greensville on Apple. That would feel real nice. Roblox, again, up and down. It just does fade out. It didn't really get going. It hit the it hit VWAP. It hit the 50-period moving average. We're able to get some out. We did retry it at 70.50, and then whoops to that downside. But Neil, oh boy, what's up to Ahmed right now? We would actually have been almost right there, but there goes Intel to the downside. You're right, Ahmed. Again, nothing more important than sticking to your plan. You called me out. You 100% called me out, Ahmed, and you said, Sean, you said you're not trading Intel. I go over to Intel, and right there, the second red name. We have Apple red, and now we have Intel red. So you are 100% right about that one. I appreciate you. My hats off to that one. Great call, and I should have obviously been a little bit more diligent on that one. But again, I like the setup. I like the play. I'm not going to hate on myself for taking it, but that is what it is. I am going to love myself, obviously, for taking this one because we did make that play there on Apple down there at 240. So there it goes, man. We have not been right on it, but we're able to make a lot back right there on that play. So that was good, and we're happy for that play on Apple, man. Sometimes you just got to wait and be patient. It just took too long today. And
just to your note there, Bitcoin not doing much, but ETH just continues to rise. So it made another fresh high. You're trending to the upside here. You can look at ETHA. There's obviously other ways you can track this, but definitely a strong one in there. Rigetti was on one. It still technically is. It's up 5%, but it broke trend. It actually got to VWAP. The second it broke down here at 13.8 and came into this target area, I trailed it out underneath that prior bar low. So we didn't get all the way to VWAP, unfortunately, on Rigetti, but sort of stick to your plan, or at least the execution plan. When it does that kind of reversion, oddly enough, I didn't really look at the 15-minute. Maybe could have been good to go long off VWAP there on Rigetti because it looks like it's heading back to the upside. And speaking of the reversions, well, you already mentioned it. You did close breaking trend. Oh, there was a new trend line, but I didn't hit save. That's what happened. So it broke the new trend line after making the fresh low. And to the upside, there was your green candle. So there's Apple. It's been falling like a rock, right? But once wick bottom broke trend, went for the long. Wick bottom broke trend, went for the long. Did not take it this time, although that's actually a short setup. Whatever. But then we took this last one, which would break this trend line. But again, it goes to the first even dollar and finds some resistance. So want to make sure you're scalping out on Apple. Google is still chilling. Higher lows, bought it off VWAP, hasn't broken 205 just yet, so that continues to be arrows up. Do not want to look any gift horses in the mouth. The market is starting to slow down a little bit. And GM, I don't know what to tell you about General Motors. It's kind of at that point where I really thought it was getting into 51 was kind of the place, and it didn't get to 51, and I didn't really get the reload up at 50.80. So I'm just bidding it out in front of yesterday's morning support on GM. Just been sitting in it, didn't really get the fills that we wanted on GM. The other thing, we only have 15 minutes to go. Tesla's going to get to 420 today, it seems. So Tesla continues to be an absolute rocket ship to the upside. I haven't traded it, kind of focused on, obviously we're in GM, but not really. Google, NVIDIA, Apple, and it is what it is. But Apple just broke another time. So I'm going to stay with only picking the spots where we get a mean reversion on Apple. The way that it's falling, entries have been good. I'm going to stick to the plan for the entries on Apple. Thankfully, NVIDIA has been able to be good for us here today. So I'll take it. You have to have something. You have to have something that you're with the trend on, I think. And NVIDIA did break the trend recently, but it's still higher lows and higher highs the entire way, even if it broke the trend line I'm working with.
Look, I mean, we talk about what we're trying to do here today, and the thing is that even with NVIDIA, I mean, some of these outs at 127, like this has been the stock that has saved me today. But at the same time, it's like we have to acknowledge some of the losses that we've had too. I'm going to tweet this one out soon about Apple. But right there, and now it's starting to finally go to the upside. I mean, we could actually wind up being green on Apple. We just need, okay, well, now we're really starting to go. We put on, honestly, the biggest position in probably notionally today in any stock right down there at 240. So we're just going to wait to see if it goes. I'm still not green on this name, despite Apple absolutely ripping up. There it is. It is your Nether Dollar Club winner, but we are still not green on this name though, Apple, as it's trying to get back there. Okay, just faded off 241. We'll take some more fills right there now. We still have about 40% of that reloaded position. I mean, if we take the 50 period and get back to VWAP, then obviously we would be very, very green on that one. So we will, Neil, hit the hot dog cannon one more time here today because oh boy, there goes Apple, man. You can't wipe this smile off of our face. Good little long down there on Apple. The position board is down, but you guys know that we put on shares down there on Apple. Right now, it's an absolute monster. So it's been horrible all day. Let's take profit at the 50 period moving average. If it continues to rip up, great for that one. But again, it depends on, what your share. And this is the other thing, right? I always say that, I'll trade with bigger shares. It's relative to whatever you're comfortable with. Like that doesn't, when I say bigger shares, that might be 100 shares, right? You guys might already be trading with 1,000 or 2,000 shares. So I'm just talking about the comfort level of my situation and what I'm doing. Okay, so that's a situation right there. And you guys will hopefully know when the bigger trades are on because I'll tell you. And I said that this was going to be the one there for Apple. It came into that 240, and it was really just one last line in the sand. And there it goes, the biggest position there. We've made back more than half of what we've lost on Apple on this trade right here.
Thank you appreciate it. And SMR is also making some fresh highs. Like it's going, Rigetti is also
love
going.
That SMR.
There's lots of parabolic movers in there today that hopefully you guys are taking advantage of. Just very quickly over, we have 10 minutes to go. Rigetti with a big reversal off of VWAP. So look at that bounce. It is what it is. It's looking really strong. I shorted it because that was the setup, but ultimately, like I'd rather be trying to play into, as you guys can see, like this is now broken significant support, or resistance, I should say, turning into support at 13.6. If we can put some higher lows in, or a higher low, and hold this one, I'd look for another long, or a long in Rigetti. We probably should have had it early, but you got to be able to make that next trade. We shorted it when it came to us, and now we want to look for that long. Alphabet, similar story, but maybe not as parabolic. Just want to continue to buy off of VWAP here. It's already held once or twice. Let's see if it can hold it a third time. And then a quick update on GM. At this point, if it breaks this trend, just going to get out. Either you're breaking the low and falling into the 50 level or going even lower than that. But if we break this trend line, it'll be at about 50.30. I put the trail on with General Motors. Maybe not falling as much as I would like here on this particular name. So Tesla, I don't know if we're going to be able to get into Tesla at any point. I don't want to chase. It's almost 10:50. I don't like top breaks at 11 o'clock. What I'm going to wait for at lunchtime is this key 413 level. If we can get a dip down into here on Tesla, let it settle down a bit, I think that's going to be the next trade. And that's what you got to be able to do. What is the next available trade? Right? Like, where's your next opportunity going to be? And while Tesla's up 4.2%, you can't buy it at 400 anymore.
Nope.
You can look for it maybe to pull back and give us a 413. What did I hear? Rivian?
No.
Oh, never mind. I thought I heard Rivian in my ear.
You heard Reborn Coffee.
Okay, good.
Okay, so right there, it's only 10 minutes till we go over to the midday show. But thank you for pointing that out on SMR. Wow. Despite all of this, right? Well, whatever. We've been in a lot of trades today. So even with this trade here on Intel, we'll wash it with SMR. Roblox was up and down as well. So today, although a very, very exciting day, it's been kind of a flattish day right now. Well, we're going to have to watch out. Like I said, everything's going to be sort of position pending when we're talking about Apple right now. But now I'm getting more and more out. I only have 30% left of Apple. So it was a big trade, but now it's fading back out again. Of course, it was a big trade when futures go right back to day's high again, right? I mean, we got to take that out at the 50 period. There's reasons why these lines are here. So if it falls back in again, I'm going to take another bid at 240. but I got to get out of here at 11 o'clock anyway. So I'll put a stop order in slightly below this 240. If it fills, it fills. And then if not, we'll see what winds up happening. So we're starting to get piecing out more and more here as it goes. And you're probably right, Scott Tomlinson, although it'll be a negative stock for both Neil and myself. Apple probably is a day trader's dream today. So yeah, just straight to the downside. You could fade all of the pops. There is no doubt about that. But right now we have a decent sized position long on Apple, 70 cents in the money. Nvidia's $1, SMR's $1.40. So like right now we're sitting on about $3 or yeah, about $3 right now worth of profit across the board. So this is the thing, right? It's all about share size on the specific names that you like, and you gotta go harder on the names that you like, or else that's that. So today we wind up losing on Apple, but completely fine, man. We stay in our zone, we stay in the path, and yeah. We're hoping it doesn't break 240, but it is looking a little bit more like that. We are much more calm. Our net is like right where it kind of needs to be right now. It could have got really destroyed if it did break that 240. And again, when I talk about destroyed, like we would have pretty much been net half of what we were yesterday. So we would have given back half of our day there on that 240 break from yesterday. So that didn't happen. I think that's good, proper risk management. And yeah, I'm really seeing a big change in the way we've traded lately. And it's resulted in what we've done this week and what we've done all month. So, you know, really, really big time there. What's up, Daryl Flinch and everybody there in the chat? Yeah, man, just keep practicing and practicing and practicing. And honestly, Neil, as you know, until you get the confidence, you should be using less shares, right? I mean, that's the whole point.
Is just stick to your plan of action, everybody. That's what I say. Justin, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for the super chat there, Justin.
Go, Justin.
Long live Allen Iverson. He's a great player. I use the Mamba reference just because I like Kobe Bryant for the way he approaches things, right? Like he's all in terms of like practice like you play, right? Like at the end of the day, you want to make sure you get the reps in. And so when something sets up, right. TCTM is that. So TCTM, I don't know what this stock is. I'll look it up in a second. But I just went for the locates because I looked at this thing. It's at $1.
Oh my
God. It's up 400%. You've got the 200 period and prior resistance at 110. So it's like if it fails that level, like remember Rigetti, same thing. If it trends up and goes right into that 110 level and fails back underneath, whoops, I started doing the shake thing before I actually drew the line. If it does a fail at 1, fail at 110, I'm looking for a trend reversal on TCTM. It's going to do 1 billion shares today probably because it's already done 400 million on this bad boy. So it looks like it's another one running. Going to add this to my list. Going back over to Alphabet here. Load, I just put in Google, but look, the chart's going to be exactly the same, but we're in Google. Does not get to VWAP a second time. Stair-stepped it, higher low, but once again, we can't break that 205. So we're running into resistance at 205. If we fail it on a break, then I want to trail up, but we're still looking for another dip buy here on Alphabet, looking very, very strong. But it's this TCTM that all of a sudden jumps up. It just broke the $1. Remember, 110 is that prior high. Let's go to Adara one more time.
Go Adara.
Get out of here.
Do it.
We're going to take a look here at the U.S. dollar, a bit of a combined Money Talk Sector Watch segment here. And this is the weekly chart. So after that really sharply red candle here on last week, and actually red candle the week before, we're trying to make some gains here for the U.S. dollar. It's worth noting, too, I mean, there's a couple of things here. The tariffs, probably a good look here for the U.S. dollar. We'll take a look at the CAD here as well. But I think the other thing, too, is so the CAD down on the week, of course, the Canadian dollar versus USD. But if we go back to the DXY for a second, I think it's interesting. We had comments from Fed Chair Powell, of course, but also Fed's Goolsbee this morning basically saying that because there's some uncertainty regarding these policies, including tariffs, it's a little bit unclear where the Fed's going to go from here. Regardless, he says that it makes sense for them to go at a little bit of a slower rate, partially because of all of these uncertainties, but he's still confident they'll be able to get to 2% at some point. We also have the sector board here. I mean, other than a lot of weakness here in energy minerals, there's a couple reasons for this. We have uncertainty around oil tariffs for Mexico and Canada. And we also have a slew of these companies reporting before the bell. But other than oil weakness, there's not a ton of weakness to speak of. Electronic technology really strong. Technology services really strong here. Palantir, Broadcom, Apple, Nvidia, all to the upside. And it's also worth noting here, a lot of these tech names are going to report next week as well, including Palantir, Amazon, and Google. Consumer durables really looking good here, led by day 2 earnings move in Tesla. Retail trade pretty strong. Health technology decently doing well here as well with that AbbVie up 7% on earnings. So there's actually a good amount of strength here in this market, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, we also got a super chat to shout out to Adara right here. ASTS says, Igor, thank you for pointing that out. So there it is right there from the super chat. Thank you to Adara for ASTS. So we say thank you, Igor, for the super chat. So thank you to Adara for that one. And I think Neil just nailed it, man. Like, do not up, and that's what I'm trying to say, do not up your shares until you have that confidence, until you get that practice. And how do you get confidence, Neil? With practice. So I think that that's a perfect example. Do not do anything until you are confident in your shares and in your trades. And when you are, then go for it. Then go for it. You can't be the trader you want to be until you gain that confidence. And then you can't also be the trader you want to be until you use more shares, unless you're already using shares that provides you with the net that you need, right? So again, I just look at athletes. And I mean, that's why I think Kobe Bryant's a perfect example. Practice, practice, practice. If he doesn't practice those threes, those free throws, all of that, then he doesn't have the confidence when he steps up to the line and actually has to pull the trigger, right? It's one thing for people to say, we used to have Fahad on the show. What's up to Fahad? I was talking to him the other day. And he was like, I shoot 90% from the line, this and that. Remember, he thought he was Steph Curry. That's fine. It's great to have that swagger and all of that. It's great for us to talk about trades. But until you really do have that ultimate confidence in that practice, then that's when you can take that next level. And so many people on our chat right now, they realize that, they understand that, and they're getting to that. We had David Locke earlier on in the week talk to the kind of money that he's made from learning and being disciplined and just getting to that next level. So, that's what it takes. And, a confident trader is a better trader, obviously. We can both agree, and we can all agree on that one. So the more confidence you have in your ability, the more shares you'll use. And congratulations to everybody that's right there right now. You've made it.
And another super chat here. I think it's Igor. We got Igor in there. Thank you for ASTS, which you already got. And then we got ate too much. We're not going to eat too much because we're back to the old caterer today. So yesterday we got like boatloads of food because I guess we're trying a new caterer out. And we got back to the other one. So it's going to be the regular lunch for us. Although I don't know what it is going to be for.
No, I didn't get that email.
Yeah, I actually don't have the email. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's back to the old caterer. But thank you so much. We appreciate you. And this is to Adara. Thank you, Adara and Co. So thank you so much, sir. Ate too much. All right, so Apple is still holding the higher low. It actually technically held on to the trend line, but I threw the break-even stop when it reloaded. It's still trying to hold higher, so I still think you can take another shot. I just want to be very particular with the entry point on Apple. NVIDIA did not pull back into VWAP after breaking trend, so it's still super strong to the upside, and Alphabet is right up at that top. Are we going to break 205 this time? So, okay, we're real close here on on Google. I want to dip by on the trend if we're not going to get VWAP again, and it looks like we're going to break this 205 maybe in the next couple of minutes. So it's actually 11 o'clock already.
Yeah.
So Google, the actual local high on Google is 205.02. Technically, it broke it already.
Yeah.
We break it a second time. I want to add to the long or dip by on this trend, which right now sits 204.5. Whichever one comes first.
Wow.
But as I said, it is 11. We'll be back at 2 o'clock. For now, you've got the professor, you've got Joey options. Go get him. Go get him.
Yep, go to the gym.
Oh, get it. Boom! What is up, beautiful? See how quick that right?
That was
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade